And now, please welcome to the field the Liberty High School Grenadier Band.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for the Liberty High School Grenadier Marching Band. Good afternoon, Bethlehem. For your pregame entertainment, the Bethlehem Area School District is proud to present the 2025 Freedom Patriot Marching Band. The Freedom Band is under the direction of Michael Moran, Assistant Director Andrew Lynn, and Percussion Instructor Chris Storino. Student leaders are Ben Rader, President, Hayden Sofranic, Vice President, Gwen Rodriguez, Secretary, and Matthew Sweeney, Treasurer. We'll begin our show with the Freedom Fife and Drum Corps performing the traditional fife tunes Yankee Doodle, 7 Stars, and The Girl I Left Behind Me. The Fife and Drum Corps is under the leadership of head fifer Gwen Rodriguez. And now, under the leadership of drum majors Rosemary Reggie and Maxim Tiffany, head twirler Juliana Friedel, and drum captains Hayden Sofranik and Peyton Walker, the band will perform a longtime Freedom favorite, Pate Medley, featuring Washington's Grand Entry March, The Girl I Left Behind Me, and Gary Owens March, and Chester. We will then perform our national march, John Philip Sousa's The Stars and Stripes Forever, featuring Glenn Rodriguez on piccolo. We will then conclude our show with the Freedom Fight song, Washington and Lee Swing. Ladies and gentlemen, the Freedom High School Patriot Marching Band.
D11 Sports presents St. Luke's Sports Medicine Game of the Week.
Bethlehem Area School District Stadium, the site tonight, or this afternoon for East Penn Conference football. It's Week 10, the 59th meeting of Liberty at 6-3, Freedom 5-4. It's our D11Sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. So glad you could join us. Al DeCarlo alongside Mike Raymond. And Mike, it doesn't get much better than this when we get a regular season finale on a Saturday afternoon on a picture-perfect afternoon.
And Liberty Freedom the past few years have had this picture-perfect atmosphere, and we talked with both coaches before the game, and when you talk about a community coming together, you're talking elementary, middle school, high school students all coming together to uplift the student-athletes on the field today, and the city championship on the line, that's coming to the end of this season now. There's so much to play for both sides, even though we kind of see a collision course for perhaps next weekend for both of these teams.
Liberty at 6-3. Sean Dano now in his fifth year, coming off a win against Bethlehem Catholic, 35-20. Antonio Fontanez, the senior quarterback.
Yeah, Fontanez, we know what he's able to do through the year, but I think when we talked with Coach Dano, the decision-making is what he's really admiring from his senior quarterback. He's thrown for over 2,000 yards this year, 28 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. He's dangerous with his feet as well, can run the ball, 233 yards with 6 touchdowns on the ground. But I'll tell you what, when it comes to decision-making and really building the offense around what Fontanez is able to do, that has been so much of a key for what Coach Dano had wanted for his senior quarterback. Remember, was not able to play in the postseason last year, will play in the postseason this year, which makes Liberty's chances and really this matchup here today extra interesting.
Yeah, indeed. Freedom Patriots 5-4. Jason Roden in his 21st year, coming off a tough loss to Easton by a score of 17-14. Mike Stefanik, the junior quarterback.
Yeah, Mike Stefanik, I'll tell you what, he's coming into his own. I know Coach Roeder has allowed him to continue to grow in this offense as a junior. 1,200 yards, 13 touchdowns, 6 interceptions on the year, but it's the incremental changes as the season gets deeper, as the competition gets more difficult. Stefanik is really growing into the position, so it's going to be a lot of what his decision-making and his skills are able to do to make the difference for the Patriots this afternoon.
We expect a great matchup between these two teams for sure. You see both bands on the field. We had a chance to see them. We'll see them again at the half. Exciting as we look into them, and we come back. We'll go to our sideline reporter, Santos Martinez. But right now, we'll pause, get ready for our big game between Liberty and Freedom as our D11Sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine.
Learn what makes you unique with no-cost genetic screening through DNA Answers, a community health research program available through St. Luke's. Learn how your DNA impacts your health and if you are at risk for certain cancers and hereditary high cholesterol, a cause of heart disease. Gaining a better understanding of your genetic health risks can help you and your doctor personalize your care for a healthier future. Health insurance is not required to participate. Learn more at DNAanswers.org.
St. Luke's is consistently first in the region to embrace innovative technologies, providing better care for heart and vascular patients. Simply put, you can trust St. Luke's to treat your heart better. When it comes to heart and vascular care, put your heart in the best hands with St. Luke's.
bands under the direction of Kimberly Elliott, Tanya Fedork, and Teresa Whitebread.
Great performance by both bands down the field. Right now is Santos Martinez. Santos graduated from Freedom High School back in 2022. He has talked to both coaches. Santos?
Thanks, Al. This game is big enough for the city of Bethlehem itself, let alone the schools and the students and the football teams. Freedom's main objectives for today are to try and defend the ball from Liberty's big offensive line, especially with Jake Puxton as their wide receiver. Liberty's thing is to try to get their run game try to get Freedom's run game down to a T. Their run game is pretty big. With Johnson out, it's a little bit rough, but they're trying their best to walk around all the other players that they have now. Guys, this is the big one. This is the city championship. Back up to you guys in the booth.
All right, Santos, thanks a lot. Much appreciated. We'll hear his thoughts throughout the game at halftime as well. We do have some student reporters that are floating around in here as well. We'll talk about them at the same time. But as we get back in here to the booth and get ready for this matchup between these two teams, Mike, let's bring in our keys to the game, brought to you by New York Life.
Yeah, when you start with Liberty, I mean, they're talking about holding up in the trenches, and I think that's specifically on defense. We've seen this Liberty defense incrementally better each week as they got into conference play, and I think that's a huge reason for some of their success. Keeping it close, I know Coach Dano really would have wanted that one against Easton. Kept it close enough, but just a slight margin of defeat there. But, of course, you have to protect the football. In a game like today where it's so emotionally charged, you can't make dumb mistakes. You can't kick yourself in the foot, especially when the margin is so thin. And then for Freedom, you talk about being physical and being poised. Coach Roeder really needs that out of his team today. You know, Santos already alluded to the fact that LaShawn Johnson, the starting running back, is going to be out here for the foreseeable future. It's going to be a two-headed monster with Jair Hughes and Abraham Pla. Listen, it's going to be a little bit of a different approach for the running attack, but as long as you're physical and poised and you can control that line of scrimmage with some of the veteran offensive and defensive linemen that Freedom possesses under that Coach Roeder defense, I think they'll be just fine.
Keys of the game brought to you by New York Life. For over 175 years, New York Life has been helping families and businesses with their life, disability, and long-term care planning needs. Whether you have a current coverage in place or in need of reviewing your options, please contact their office in Allentown to find the right plan to fit your needs. Call New York Life at 610-616-4430 today. Support for D11sports.com Game of the Week comes from Michael R. Glovis, financial advisor at Morgan Stanley in Easton. For all your investment needs, call Michael R. Glovis at 610-559-6380. Located at 101 Larry Holmes Drive, Suite 301 in Easton, PA. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney LLC member, SIPC. The Freedom Patriots have made their way onto the field, and we await the Liberty Hurricanes making their way on the field as well. No matter your sport or position, St. Luke's Sports Medicine can train you to avoid injury. And if you do get injured, we're there with the best athletic trainers, performance coaches, physical therapists, and orthopedic sports medicine physicians and surgeons to get you back on your feet and back in the game. St. Luke's is the region's only varsity team in sports medicine. If you're a student from any District 11 school interested in broadcasting, journalism, or photography, check out D11sports.com. Follow your dream, get close to the action, take part in our student internship program. For more information, contact your athletic director or reach out to myself or Dave at d11sports.com. That being said, as we wait for Liberty to make their way onto the field, Mike, Santos Martinez graduated in 2022 from Freedom. Amy Yescas is a senior here at Freedom. She's helping out with the student section. She's one of the letters, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Maddie Orlicki is part of the Liberty Band. Isaac Morales is out down there taking photos somewhere. And we also have Ty Gorman. He's a senior at Bangor, and he's taking photos as well as Sydney Mahalik from Nazareth. So both in the house getting a lot of photos, so we'll put that on social media, on Twitter a little later on. With that, let's take a look at our players to watch in this matchup between these two teams. We talked about in the open, but Mike, as we look at them here on the screen, those two have to play well for their respective teams to pull up the W.
Whether it be it's coming down to the quarterback and how much you could really prepare for things. We talked about the talented weapons that Liberty has offensively, but when you have a guy like Antonio Fontanez, it's able to distribute that ball the way that he's able to. He's had so much success this season. They built the offense around him, and he's doing so many great things for Liberty this year. And I think he is the biggest X factor when it comes to it. Now, when it comes to Michael Stefanik, a kid that is putting a lot on his plate, they're putting a lot on his plate as the season got a little bit deeper into the season here. But, I think in a game like this, you don't need any extra motivation. You're going to be out here and want to win that city championship like we alluded to, and Stefanik's going to be that guy for Freedom. He's going to have to run that offense. He's going to have to play mistake-free football, and he's going to be disciplined, just like any Jason Roeder coach team.
Well, we're moments away from this matchup between these two teams. Again, the 59th meeting. They started in 1968. Liberty leads the series 34-24. Freedom has won 6 in a row. The last 4 wins have, been over 20 points. We've been doing these games too.
We've been doing them a lot, 34-24. But, I think what happens is there's times where this game, Liberty, even despite their losses in recent years, has grabbed the emotion early. And I think when you can continue to ride that wave of emotion, that can give yourself a little bit, and your guys, your overall outlook for your team, it can give you a little bit more juice here and keep you in these rivalry games. And listen, if there is a time that Liberty has this game laid out for them at their forefront here, it's with a veteran quarterback, it's with great playmakers, it's with an improving defense as this team has played deeper into the conference season. This is going to be a very great opportunity for the Hurricanes to finally get that win for Coach Dano. He's been here for 5 years. This is going to be his 5th game. They are going to play to their best of their abilities at this, let's call it what it is, a depleted Freedom team right now. We talked about some of the guys that are missing time. Number 1 on that list is obviously LaShawn Johnson at the running back spot. But you talk about Xavier DeJesus. He's that quarterback of the defense. That's another person that they're going to be without in terms of playing time. So Coach Roeder is knowing that it's going to be the next man up mentality. They're built for this type of long, grueling, slow it down type football. Now are you going to be able to do that with a team like Liberty?
As they're down there on the field, I see some of our student reporters down there as well. Talk about our program, the way it's grown. When you get a chance to be right there on the field, I see Ty here in the bottom right-hand corner with our D11 Sports sweatshirt. Santos to your left. But, be in the middle of the action, being able to, and we talked about broadcasting journalism, but really photography is really taking over at the high school level.
Well, yeah, the kids love the social media. It's how they tell their own stories, and you can create stories here by telling the story of the game. And when you're interweaving sports and social media, it could be a fun little marriage there. And we've seen D11 Sports grow. We've seen the amount of veteran students that are going on to the next level and pursuing their journalism and TV careers. We've seen so many. I think of this memory here always with Kieran Lenchesky standing in front of
100%.
us inside the Liberty Grenadier marching band, just continuing to report. And we've seen a lot of growth from a lot of the other great.
All right, so hold on. To go back to Kieran.
Go ahead.
We knew that day when I took off the headset, I go, hey, she's going to do
She'll be
pretty good.
Fine.
And she's doing great at Ole Miss right now. But, when you have a trombone or a trumpet going right through your ear while you're talking.
Didn't break concentration.
One thing's of note, and we'll do our best here, the scoreboard is malfunctioning today. It is being kept on the field, so that will make our job a heck of a lot more difficult than it usually is. So we'll do our best here as we go, and we'll try to listen in. And Kevin Conley, who's producing today, because Sean decided that he needed to take 16 more days off. Just kidding. Actually, shout out to Sean. Sean's done a great job with us this year. Not here today, and He's at Westchester doing a game today. Will we get Kevin Conley? And Kevin, we're expecting good things from you
That's
today.
right.
Good things.
Shout out to the guys here, too, running cameras and making us look good here. Freedom obviously winning the toss, deferring to the second half, so Liberty gets the ball first here out of the gate. So this will be an interesting to see that Liberty offense go out on the field first and try to establish some momentum.
Yeah, we'll try to keep our eyes also on seeing those big plays and what can happen here, because there's some playmakers on the field. Obviously, you and I have talked about it a little bit with LaShawn Johnson not in the game. That's a big part. 822 yards, 9 touchdowns that you're not going to see in the game today.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be running back by committee. We talked about Abraham Pla, and we talked about the differences between Johnson and some of the other guys who are going to have to step up and replace him. It's just going to be a little bit more disciplined. Maybe don't have that great breakaway speed, but right now it's all about the guy in front of you, and I think both these teams ready to go.
59th meeting underway. Nate Standard will send that one across, and we are underway. The ball will start at the 30. And with that, we'll pop in the offense here for the Liberty Hurricanes, who take to the field first.
Yeah, Antonio Fontanez is going to lead him out. Gabe Green, a veteran running back in and of his own self. We talked about Jake Puxton. He's going to be playing his college ball just over the hill over at Lehigh University. That announced within the last 2 weeks. And it's been the Zaire Davis show. While Puxton got healthy early on, but some veteran guys on the offensive line, these guys are going to have to win in the trenches against a physical Freedom defensive line if they're going to protect Fontanez, and he's going to be able to distribute the ball.
So Liberty will get the ball first, and they'll start things off from the 30-yard line. Fontaine has had a tremendous year. They'll give it to Green, and Green powers forward, and will pick up about 3 yards. Tackling on the play, a couple guys in there knocking him down, including Jacob Haas. Take a look at the defense.
On the defensive side of the ball, all led in the front there by Dan Schifford is going to be your defensive lineman nose guard. But Kai Moore is a guy, we know that Moore name is ringing loud in the Freedom hallways. It's been for many years. And then just in the backside, they have guys that have been there, a couple seniors in the back defensive backfield that will help lead the way.
Looking to throw, and has a receiver right on the money for the first down across midfield after a big catch by Puxton across to about the 48-yard line. Number 5 making his first grab of the game.
That's going to be, I'll tell you what, if we have Puxton in there, you can't give him that much room. He's just going to cut across, and Fontanez is going to find him. That's an easy pitch and catch for that tandem. That's going to be very dangerous to stop all game long. Lede in there on the coverage. You're going to have to get up in Puxton's face if you want to just be a little more aggressive here. We talked about that aggressive nature that Freedom likes to play defensively.
Yeah, from the 48, Puxton will line up top, and Fontanez is going to look in his direction. He beats the coverage, and Puxton's going to go 48 yards on a perfect pass from Antonio Fontanez. Wow.
I mean, he found that single coverage without a doubt. And listen, Puxton is going to have that physical ability to beat his defender. Not very aggressive. They're going to let Puxton run his route here in one step and gone. He just beat his defender on one step. The safety's late getting over. That's not going to matter because Puxton had already beaten the corner, and that's why he's playing on Saturdays next year.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to play at Lehigh. He covered Lehigh for about, 15 years or so, and maybe a perfect fit to be there with Mountain Hawks. Christian Hackett with the extra point. And that one dribbles through. Hackett's going to have to pick this one up, and he'll go down. So, you always talk about, momentum changes. So, Liberty, great pass. Then all of a sudden a little mishap here on the extra point. So a 6-0 game, not a 7-0 game. Does that come into play later on? And just, you just picked it up, tried to make that turn, but the defense came swarming right away.
Yeah, it's the little things. We're talking about playing smart, and, we talked about it as it pertains to Freedom, but a little bit of a special teams gaffe there by Liberty. With the way that Liberty is able to move the ball offensively, and if there's not any kind of adjustment to the defensive backfield and maybe bracket Puxton, it's tough because you look at Puxton, then Zaire Davis beats you on the other side, but maybe this one comes back to bite him, maybe it doesn't. But Freedom's going to have their hands full trying to keep this offensive firepower under control for Liberty.
Well, a good start, 70 yards on a couple plays. It culminates into an Antonio Fontanez to Jake Puxton touchdown pass from 48 yards.
mean, just talented the route running there by Puxton. I think that's what the most impressive thing. Yeah, you had to make the catch, and Antonio Fontanez has got to get you the ball, but the route running, being able to beat your defender. It only took three offensive plays, a little bit of a run by Gabe Green, and then it's the Jake Puxton show.
I mean, if you're Sean Dano, that's exactly how you wanted to start.
Well, momentum. I mean, we talk about it, and we know the offensive firepower that Liberty has, but in this game, you talk about all the extracurriculars that happen the week of this game. Sometimes the emotion might get lost there, when it comes to game time. There's so much being asked of these student athletes this week, and bonfires and pep rallies and hall decorating. So it's easy to get distracted, but now that it's game time, got to make sure the focus is there.
We'll see the flag come out, and speaking of bonfires, you like going to bonfires. You're at one as well.
I do. I live close in proximity to Freedom High School, so my dog and I tend to go over and take it in and watch. But yeah, it was nice to see that. And I had to ask Coach Roeder about that. They had to move it around. Usually the Friday before the game. This week it was Wednesday before the game. Liberty had theirs Thursday, so that tradition changing up a little bit. But now to start here, 2 special teams gaffes by the Hurricanes, and both of the. Well, one was with the snap on the extra point, and then, of course, here the kickoff out of bounds. So giving good field position at the 35 to Freedom.
First down and 10, Freedom from their own 35-yard line.
We'll take a look at the lineups after this play. And take a good look at Stefanik. And a quick handoff. And let's take a look. So starting 11.
Getting that ball and filling in for LaShawn Johnson is Abraham Plod. We'll also see a little bit of movement from Jair Hughes in the offensive backfield, but all led by Michael Stefanik. You got to have a great offensive line, a veteran offensive line. Dan Schiffer, Kai Moore, those are guys that could really be people movers, and got to get that running game established, even despite being down your leading rusher on the year.
Shout out to Joe Stefanik, St. Luke's, but I'm sure he's here watching his kid play as well. To the ground they go, and quickly taken down. Nice play by Arion DeLeon. Take a look at the defense here for Liberty.
Yeah, DeLeon stayed home there and made sure that he put his head down and made that tackle. One of the great guys that's been here for a while. Linebacker Gabe Green is in that second level of the defensive front seven, and you talk about guys in the backfield. Most of the guys that are playing wide receiver, you're going to see Barlock, you're going to see Davis, you're going to see Puxton, and Jonte Bowe out there in the defensive backfield. So some athletic guys playing defensive back.
3rd down and 8 here for Freedom. Looking to throw, Stefanik, and now he gets rolled. He's got some room if he gets through, but no, he's tripped up. And a great job defensively coming on in there was J.J. Pujols.
JJ was staying home, and Stefanik had his eyes down the field. No one really open there for him, but tried to use his leg and try to find the 8 yards for the first down, but no one open there. Great defensive play call by the Hurricanes on that play.
So a quick 3 and out for the Freedom Patriots. That one skips through. Actually, he got there just barely. And this will be picked up at the 30-yard line for Puxton. Puxton makes it to the 40. Has a good block. And Puxton across the 40-yard line, and then will go out of bounds.
Yeah, it's like a net punt of 2 yards after all things are said and done because of the playmaking ability by one Jake Puxton. So making the announcement on the field, 8 minutes, 52 seconds left in the first.
You got better ears than I do.
Yeah, well, it's just the senses got to be awake when the scoreboard's not working.
Hey, I'll tell you what, 8:52. And, Kevin was actually pretty close on his.
Not bad.
I'm impressed. All right. Again, scoreboard's not working, so we'll do our best. And they'll start things off from the 41-yard line. And try to get that one across to Gabe Green, and Gabe Green turns something into nothing.
Yeah, I mean, he was looking to break that to the outside.
Nothing to something.
Nothing into something, yes. We're looking to break that one to the outside. Every time they've given the ball to Gabe Green so far, he's been going off that left tackle, but saw something in the middle, decided to put his head down into the shoulder pad of that linebacker over there for Freedom, number 44, that Brian Renshaw, and he got the ball about 5 yards on first down, which really opens up the playbook on second down.
Yeah, pick up about 4.5. Going to toss it to Puxton. Puxton's got a lot of room in front of him. He will get the first down. and move out of bounds right around the 25-yard line. So he's been very, very active. You know, Coach Dano said to us, you know, at the beginning of the year, a little dinged up and everything, but he is getting, you know, better and better as he goes, and he's making spectacular catches. We had him against Easton as well. The guy's just dynamite.
He's making Frankie Lane look smart, right? I'll tell you what, I mean, if I'm building an offensive game plan, he's going to be at the center of it as well. So shout out to Frank, doing everything he can to get pucks in the ball.
Throwing in the middle part of the field. Puxon didn't see that one coming.
Looked like a little bit of an option route, and Fontanez thought that Puxon was going to break inside. He turned his head to the outside to try to break it outside, but and that's kind of what we were talking about with Coach Dano. We're talking about letting Antonio Fontanez be that guy to make the decision, call it at the line of scrimmage, build the offense around him. Sometimes it gets lost in translation a little bit, but I trust Antonio Fontanez is going to get the offense continuing to move. They've had no problem moving the ball in this Freedom defense so far.
Mike, I like to look at Fontanez here and see what he does. It looked like he got dinged up there pretty good. He's going to throw that one right away as I say that, and incomplete.
Oh, the flag comes down.
Yeah, they was looking at Dexter for Jackson Barlock.
Well, on that one, watch what Puxon does. He's on the inside slot receiver here, and he just runs a hitch route, and I think they were waiting for Freedom to jump on him because he was wide open, and then you figure over the top you had a guy breaking free in Barlock, but it looks like the Freedom defense read it. Now I think it's just a little bit of extracurriculars, and Liberty's going to have the ball moved up.
Interesting as we look at this game, and you talk about the way Liberty has been, you know, playing right now. They're throwing the ball, they're being effective, and when you got a quarterback like Fontanez who's done it all year long, over 2,000 yards, he's been impressive. To say the least.
And, like, when it comes to a quarterback, what I really admire is the efficiency. Like, if it's not there, tuck it and run. If you don't have your guys, don't force it. Don't turn the ball over. We talked about only 28 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. He knows what he's doing back there.
From the 12, and a target and a touchdown into the hands of Zaire Davis. A 12-yard touchdown pass from Fontanez to Davis.
Well, and talking about knowing what he's doing. When you look at Antonio Fontanez, watch his eyes on this play. He's going to fake to his running back and read that defensive end and see look at where he's looking right there. The defensive end breaks in, which means there's going to be a clear path to find Zaire Davis in the end zone. And those defensive backs for Freedom continuing to play off. I understand you don't want to get beat over the top, but they got to get a little more physical here with those wide receivers from Liberty, or they're just going to have a big cushion to do dinks and dunks and slants and hooks and whatever they need to do.
Hackett back in there for the extra point. They come after that one, but that one is through. And it's the Canes leading 13-0 with unofficially right around 7:46 left in the first quarter. Mike, we've done these games before. It's been the other way around for the last few years where it's been Freedom jumping up on Liberty. 2 possessions, and Freedom just has a 3-and-out so far.
Yeah, it's tough because I think that the Pates are going to have their hands full today. There's too many offensive weapons to concern yourself with Liberty, and you know if you're keying on Puxon, then Davis is going to get in there. They're already targeted Barlock on that deep streak route down the stretch. So like there's too many things to factor in. And I think Freedom's trying to just sit back in zone, give the guys the underneath stuff, but they're getting underneath stuff. They're getting beat deep, and just Antonio Fontanez remains efficient. And I think that's all you can ask so far for 2 possessions for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, good word, efficient, for sure. I mean, you start looking, and I know Duke Helm sends out a whole bunch of stuff each and every time, and you look over at Notre Dame and their quarterback, you know, over 2,000. I mean, 2,000 yards, 2,000 yards. It's not an easy feat by any means. This one will be fielded right at the 10-yard line, and they'll mark it right around the 27, 28-yard line.
Nice form tackle there for Liberty. William Reese in on the coverage, one of the seniors on this Liberty squad, and always talking about how special it is to have your senior day here, last home game for the Patriots of the season. Again, we're talking about the potential matchup between these 2 6A opponents perhaps next weekend. You know, we're going to see where things shake out, but it's an important day for all the seniors that are part of the traditions here at BASD.
So starting from the 27-yard line is Michael Stefanik. And he'll look to throw. Not pressured this time, goes far side, and he will complete the pass. and move it upfield towards the 40 and move the chains for a first down.
I'll tell you what, that's a good, efficient, high-confidence pass to get Michael Stefanik settled in here. I know the first offensive possession didn't go the way the Patriots wanted to do. You're going to need to move the ball through the air, already down 13 points. Why not just try to get a quick out route to get some confidence for your junior quarterback?
So first quarter action here from Bethlehem Area School District Stadium. So glad you could join us here on D11sports.com, our game of the week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. And coming near side and connecting to Jackson Pearson. Pearson is 6'3", 185-pound senior with a couple grabs.
Yeah, the Patriots are going after Zaire Davis on the defensive backfield. And listen, you're going to try to look at that run. You figure that the Freedom Patriots are going to try to run at you. But they've gotten two really nice passes from Michael Stefanik the last two plays. And the lefty is starting to sling out here as we're getting close to midfield.
Second down and a long 2 from about the 48-yard line. And he will look to throw again. Looking downfield, has a receiver wide open. He'll throw in that direction, and he'll go in for the touchdown.
Davion Moore.
Yeah, Davion Moore, 5'11", 180-pound junior, goes 52 yards for the score.
On the defense, it looked like the defensive back who was in coverage there just bit, thinking that Stefanik might tuck it and run. They were in man coverage and just walked right by the defensive back in coverage there. And what a huge boost of momentum for Michael Stefanik and the Freedom Patriots here. As down 13 points, they're not going away that easy, as Nate Stannard to come in to try to make it a one-score game.
So Stannard with the extra point, and that one is good. And it's 13-7 on the pass play of 52 yards from Mike Stefanik to Davion Moore.
A shout out to Mike Stefanik there on that extra point. A little bit of a fumbled snap. He was able to get it down, and clean ball for Stannard to get up through the uprights. And wow, we talk about momentum. That was a huge deal for this Freedom Patriots team, actually being pretty beat up offensively through the first couple of possessions. To come out and get a 7-point drive of their own, that's a huge deal. So 13-7 your score here.
Well, as quickly as they went 3 and out, they went 3 and touchdown. This time, everything just changed. Again, we always talk about the first few minutes of the game, but when you don't have the football and time possession, all favored really Liberty at that point. But a great job of coming back, and 13-7. A long way to go in a game that these two teams know. We take a hit, you take a hit, and go back and forth. But I've done many of these games in the past, and you always love when, even though they always say, it doesn't matter if you're, 3-7 and 7-3, it doesn't matter. But when you're both in the thick of things and may play again next week, this is bigger. This is the intensity is more because there's a lot of talent on the field.
Well, I don't know if I had expected 20 points in the first few minutes here, with 3 touchdowns going up on the board, but they're playing loose out there, and I think that's a really good thing here. And maybe they tighten up next week for next week's matchup, but right now they're playing a little loose.
Yeah, and as Coach Roeder said, he goes, we can't think about next week at all on the return there by Gabe Green. But if you look at this game to this point, Mike, you said, they're playing loose. A 48-yard touchdown, a 12-yard touchdown, and a 52-yard touchdown. It's not like, we're just getting like a 2-yard score and like that. Mm-hmm. These are big plays.
Yeah. Well, and it's also just a very wide open offensive game plan. And I think Freedom's being forced into that because of how efficiently the Canes are moving the ball right now. And you're going to have to continue to do. You're talking about body blows. You're going to have to absorb a few body blows here. And now with this possession here, you can't. We talked about turnovers. You got to make sure that you're still being patient and playing smart.
They'll start things off from their own 28-yard line. On a carry by Green. Green coming into the game with 104 carries, 672 yards. He's averaging over 6 yards a carry. That's a great number with 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, when called upon. I mean, this the passing attack is certainly the featured part of this Liberty offense. But when Gabe Green is called upon, I think he was close to 1,000 yards last year, if I remember correctly. He was a big featured part of this offense. So when called upon, he can do it.
Looking to throw again, gets bumped as he throws, but still completes the pass for a first down to Puxton.
And credit Antonio Fontanez on that. He was rushing the play, had some pressure at his backside, and just stuck in the pocket there, kept his eyes down the field, put his feet into the ground, and found his favorite receiver in Jake Puxton.
We talked to Coach Dano. He said, Jake made 3 catches last week because they were, double teamed and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
He already has 3 or 4 today.
Yeah. Well, and he's going to get his. You just can't. I mean, I'd hate to be defensive coordinator here for Freedom because there's so much to be concerned yourself with. And these guys, these wide receivers can beat you off the line. It's tough.
They'll send that one across, nowhere to go. Was Gabe Green, as they also had DeLeon in the backfield.
Marquise Chapman in on the
flag. There's a flag at the end of the play, and we talked to both coaches about this. You don't want to lose your temper. You don't want to do anything, foolish when the momentum, the game is flowing along and everything, and all of a sudden you don't want things to change on you.
Yeah, and I think if you're Marquise Chapman, who was in on the tackle there, I think you're excited. You're pumped that you're able to thwart that play, recognize the play, get in the face of Gabe Green, made his catch difficult. He did make the catch, but not for a productive gain. So you put yourself in a really good second down position. Now you hope it's not a penalty to give more free yardage to this Hurricanes offense, an offense that doesn't need free yardage.
So glad you could join us here at D11Sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. Al DeCarlo, Mike Raymond with you here high atop Bethlehem Area School District Stadium. We had a good one last night between Northwestern Lehigh and Southern Lehigh, a game that was not close in the beginning, but got close then at the end. 2 teams that really feel that they have the team to move forward. You look at the Northwestern Lehigh Tigers, they continue to win, now 26 in a row after winning the championship last year in the state. But, they're paired up right now. Unofficially, we get the pairings, but they're going to be paired up eventually, it looks like, with North Schuylkill as a 2-3, because also undefeated in that 3A class was Notre Dame, who went 10-0.
Yep. And
they will get the top seed in there. So Notre Dame and Northwestern, everyone's looking for that one to possibly happen down the road. That being said, North Schuylkill only lost to Notre Dame because they missed on a 2-point conversion. 6A class becomes more interesting because the 8th seed likely could be Emmaus, but West is lingering in there depending on what happens in the Allen Deerhoff game and this game and, stuff there. So we'll see. But
7 of the 8 spots in 6A pretty much finalized, and just a matter of where people are going to end up at this point. Jason Roeder not happy with whatever the call's about to be here.
Well, it happened on the far side.
On sportsmanlike against look at me offsetting penalties. Oh, someone's been removed.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So that's going to be Giovanni Leday for the Patriots.
Wow.
So he's gone for the day, and that's the guy they had pairing up on Jake Puxton. So that job just got increasingly more difficult for the Freedom secondary.
That's very hard in a game like this, the magnitude, your emotions are high and everything, and, you saw there was something going on the far side. We couldn't see it, but obviously for an ejection,
It had to have fit the crime here because I think especially in rivalry games, if you're an official, you're expecting a certain amount of emotion.
Energy, yep.
Yeah, and there must have been something that was unforgivable that happened on the far sideline, and you knew when you saw Coach Roeder's reaction that it wasn't going to be good news. I thought we were going to have offset penalties.
That's all I thought it was.
But then we're seeing an ejection on top of it, and that's not what you want to see.
No, so Leday out of the game. Again, Freedom already playing without their starting running back in LaShawn Johnson, who's been dinged up. And this delay here, because of the talking, is taking pretty long. This is taking about 3-4 minutes, Mike.
Yeah. And you talked about, Coach Roeder was talking about LaShawn Johnson on the offensive side of things. He was also saying that their defensive quarterback, Xavier DeHavius, would be missing time. So you're talking about 2 defensive backs now, not in the secondary for this Freedom Patriots team.
Let's see if they go right after him right here. They put DeLeon in the backfield for Fontanez. The ball sits at the 44. Fontanez is going to take it himself, middle part of the field, drives through, and will gain 10 yards and move the chains for a first down.
Doing it through the air, doing it with his feet. Fontanez took a few steps back, looked at what the defense was going to give him, and that just happened to be about 10 yards of running room, and he took advantage of it. Nice quarterback draw, found the hole off the left side of the line, and fresh set of downs here for the Hurricanes.
So the Canes in their third possession just continuing to have a good time moving the football at this point. This one from the 46. De Leon will make the turn, has some space, and gets popped out of bounds, and a flag comes in at the end of that play.
It looked like there was a wall of offensive blockers, but there may have been maybe a tug too long. That's in the area of holding. We'll see what the call ends up being here. Flag did hit one of the Freedom Patriots there.
It did.
Trying to see on the replay what could have been. Right near the Freedom sideline, which I'm sure is nice and fired up after the previous play and an ejection. But it looks like the Hurricanes are taking a few steps backwards. So,
and just as I said, everything's been positive for Liberty for the most part. They get that holding call and it moves them back to the 46-yard line.
And it looked like that play was going to work no matter what, even if the play didn't have the holding call. Like I think with De Leon, when he was having enough speed coming through the offensive backfield, he could have beat anyone to the edge, make one move.
Fontanez rolls far side and will put that into the hands on Jackson Barlock, who tiptoes down the sideline.
And that's just a matter of taking what the defense gave you, because Freedom actually adjust the secondary. It was playing a nice zone, making Fontanez choose. He just chose the guy that had the least amount of resistance on that play, and that was Barlock. And, hey, I'll take a 5-yard run, 5-yard swing pass, whatever you need to do. That's efficient second down play now here with a wide open playbook.
No question. Second down and long 4. Right around that 3:30 mark. Again, scoreboard not working officially. Fontanez going to put one up and going up and getting that one. And good job defensively, knocking it away. Puxton had his hand on it. I can't see the player for, and Puxton went down hard on that play. Let's take a look again. He's still on his feet while we look at the replay.
Yeah, Puxton put his helmet off there. That's not what you want to see. He fell pretty hard on that play. Hard to see. Maybe it landed on his hip or something, but athletic trainers there to make sure that he's okay. Obviously, bright future ahead of him here, and obviously the success that the Liberty offense has had here. And on that last play, when you look at Freedom, what they were able to do, they're not going to just sit back in coverage anymore. They're going to start bringing some pressure. You saw it through the A-gap there, and they wanted to get into the face of Antonio Fontanez. Fontanez made the right read, found his talented wide receiver, Puxton, who almost went up and made a circus catch, but it was going to be tough to get that foot down in bounds on the sideline there. So we're going to see where this goes here as Puxton now sitting up. Which is a little bit more promising, but we'll see where he goes from here. But Puxton, a huge part of this offense if he's going to have to sit out for a little bit. Not to say that there's not looks like he's standing to his feet under his own power, so that's a good sign for Liberty and Puxton.
But that being said, Mike, they're going to have to look at him too and evaluate him at the same time since he went down the way he did.
Yep. Helmet comes off, probably make his way over to that St. Luke's tent on the far sideline, just get evaluated, precautionary measure, and we'll find another way to move the ball offensively for Liberty.
3rd down and 4.
So the ball sits right around the 40. 3rd down, about 4.5 yards here for the Canes. And they'll keep it on the ground. The exchange wasn't maybe what they wanted, but Gabe Green kept it and kept powering forward and will indeed move the chains for a first down to about the 35-yard line.
That was going to be
look pretty.
Well, I'll tell you what, Freedom had them stacked up at the line of scrimmage, but credit to Gabe Green for keeping those legs churning and continuing to lean forward to find that first down yardage here, because that would have been a very big, 3rd down stop for this Freedom defense, desperate for some positivity defensively, and they almost had it there.
On the ground, Green. He gets popped off a defender, and he'll go down. The ball loose. Don't think they called anything, or did they? Freedom thought they had the football.
You can hear the assistant coaches underneath the press box right now losing their mind. I thought there was I think they might have had something to say about this, as I don't know if they blew the whistle when he was stacked up, but Freedom defender got in there. Oh, it looked like his knee was down.
Yeah,
his knee was down, yep. So I understand a good call there by the refs, as Gabe Green had a knee on the field before the ball came loose. But that's a loss of 3 yards, so a net win for that Freedom defense.
Fontanez tries to make the turn.
I'll tell you what, I liked what Freedom did there with that bracket coverage and made Fontanez decide what he wanted to do, got into the passing lanes and didn't allow him for just pitch and catch. He really wanted the slant there, and I'm surprised he didn't do the swing pass on the outside receiver. It looked like number 6, Jackson Barlock, was in the area if he wanted to distribute it there. Opted just to tuck it and run. Picked up a few yards, but still 3rd and long for the Hurricanes here. And Puxton back on the field, by the way.
That's a great sign there. Seeing Puxton on the field, lined up in the slot now. So 3rd down and 9. It's a 13-7 score. Inside a minute to play, and Fontanez has a lot of room. Instead, he'll throw the ball, and he'll look for Puxton, and just out of his reach. Try to put his hand up to grab it and could not do it.
It was taking a little bit of time for Puxton to clear the defense. He was coming across on a post route, and I'll tell you what, if Fontanez just tucks it and runs, he gets the first down. Puxton would have beaten his defender there. Just a little high, maybe a little behind Puxton. A catchable ball, and I know anytime you talk to a coach, he'll say if you get your hands on it, you should have caught it. I'm not going to sit here and nitpick when it comes to Jake Puxton, though.
No. Christian Hackett to punt from his own 48-yard line. And they'll let this one roll, and it will get a – they may have gotten it right at the 3-yard line. Let's see where they mark this. Yep.
Nice.
Wow, how about that?
Nice special teams. Got a commit on the punt coverage team, and they got there right at the goal line, knocked it down, and looks like about, 2 or 3 yard line right there for the Freedom Patriots. So a long Freedom Patriot drive upcoming if this thing is going to be successful.
Again, the series that started in 1968. This is the 59th meeting. Liberty leads 34-24. Last year it was 44-24. Freedom came up with the victory. Freedom's won 5 in a row,
which is tied for the most that they've won consecutively in this series history. Not the most all time. Liberty, I believe, have won 8 in a row.
Yep. So Freedom will start from the 3 and go on the ground or Pla, and Pla gives them some yardage there up across the 6-yard line. So
a little bit of breathing room.
3. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, you need at least another couple yards. I expect the Freedom to go into the run game again here. Maybe a short pass, but you need a little more room to actually run your offense here. But credit this Freedom Patriots team. They're slowing down that Hurricanes offensive attack. Now it's just going to be on this offense if you can see if you can find ways to move the ball. Now, a little bit more of a power game I'm expecting here.
So 2nd down and about 7. And looking to throw. They'll come near side, and they will move the chains for the first down as he puts it right into the hands of David Moore.
What do I know? Fake the power game, find your receiver open, give yourself some real breathing room here. Credit Michael Stefanik for reading the coverage there, finding his open wide receiver, and now you feel a little bit more comfortable to run an offensive play set here, or open your playbook just a little bit more.
Again, clock unofficial, but we're sitting there right around 113.
First down and 10, Freedom from their own 19-yard line.
So again, a drive that started at 3, now they're at the 19. Went to pitch it, there was nothing there. That defense came, and that was luck. Because if Stefanik pitches that one, that's 6 coming the other way more than likely.
I'll tell you what, there's more to it than being just distributor. You have to know when to pitch it and when not to pitch it, and that's exactly what Michael Stefanik did there. And, credit Adrian DeLeon getting into the backfield, forcing that decision. It's a loss of yardage, but it could have been a loss of possession. So
DeLeon was just saying, go ahead.
Yeah, you got to pitch it. I'll just grab it and run.
I got this one. Thanks.
Yeah, smart move there by Stefanik.
So loss of a couple. 2nd down and about 12. Receivers lined up, 2 to the far side, 1 here to the near side. Looking to throw, middle part of the field wide open, and if he gets to the outside like he does, will be short as the catch was made by Jacob Haas. That being said, to be short of the first down marker, we'll take a look at the replay, and I believe this should wind down the end of the first quarter unless they take one more play here.
Looks to be 3rd and about 3. And we'll see where the clock goes here. Looks like the refs are ready to blow it dead. And there it is.
So 1 quarter complete from Bethlehem Area School District Stadium. We got a good one. Liberty 13, Freedom 7. You're watching our D11sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine.
You're determined to stay active and enjoy life. Be at your best every day with St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Start here and we'll get you back to doing what you love. With locations throughout the region, including St. Luke's Orthopedic Hospital West End campus, the best place for orthopedic care is always close to home. St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Start here, go farther.
Did you know that every year our nation's hospitals are graded on quality and safety? Did you know this information is publicly available? Did you know that St. Luke's has earned 5 stars for quality and straight A's for safety? St. Luke's is the only PA-based health system and only 1 in 3 health systems in the nation to earn these outstanding recognitions. St. Luke's, the only locally based healthcare network serving as a model for the nation.
We are back here at Bethlehem Area School District Stadium, 59th meeting between Liberty and Freedom. 13-7 your score. Al DiCarlo, Mike Raymond with you up top. Santos Martinez down on the field. Kevin Conley, Sports Fan Base Network, pushing the right buttons. And Mike, your thoughts of the first quarter?
Yeah, I mean, it looked like Liberty was going to run away with it. Credit Freedom for stopping the bleeding a little bit, getting their own big play offense working there in the middle part of the quarter. And you have a possession here to start the second. If you come away with points, this is an interesting game.
Yeah, 3rd down and a long 3 here. And they'll pass that one that got tipped. That was DeLeon. DeLeon's been active today.
I'll tell you what, if Stefanik maybe decides to hand this one off, I think he might have got a first down. I think you got to credit DeLeon for getting his hands in the passing lane. I think that would have been a really good hitch route there. But credit to Leon for being in the passing lane. He was in the toss lane on the other end of the field. Now he would come up with a big deflection defensively.
Puxton awaiting the punt. And this one's going to be a tough bounce. Let's see if he comes right to him. Now he's going to pass right him, and he's going to let that one roll. And Liberty will start the second quarter with the ball at the 22-yard line. No matter your sport or position, St. Luke's Sports Medicine can train you to avoid injury. And if you do get injured, we're there with the best athletic trainers, performance coaches, physical therapists, and orthopedic sports medicine physicians and surgeons to get you back on your feet and back in the game. St. Luke's is the region's only varsity team in sports medicine. D11 Sports thanks Michael Arglo, his financial advisor at Morgan Stanley in Easton, for his sponsorship of the Game of the Week. For all your investment needs, call Michael Arglo at 610-559-6380, located at 101 Larry Holmes Drive, Suite 301, Easton, PA. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. They'll pitch this one across, and nowhere to go. And Barlock took the pitch, but Freedom defense came swarming in. And making the play, first guy in there was Jacob Hawes.
Yeah, I mean, Hawes was part of that defense that helped stretch that thing out and allowing the Patriots to come in and gang tackle. Way to keep it contained there, because you don't want him to get out on the outside. Puxton's finding ways to move the ball each and every way, but you don't want him to find green grass here in space, because he'll make you pay for it. So credit defense here for Freedom and bringing up a 2nd and long.
First down marker sits at the 37-yard line, and they'll flare this one over to Barlock. Barlock makes the turn. He will get the first down. He gets popped out of bounds right around the 40. They'll mark it a little short.
Whether it's Puxton, whether it's Barlock, whether it's Davis, each guy has had an impact here through the air for the Hurricanes offense. And also, with the swing pack specifically, you got to have the downfield blocking to make that thing successful. And credit Zaire Davis, who was out in front on the far side and tried to clear a path for his teammate, and now a fresh set of downs here for the Canes.
Looking to throw, near side has Puxton. Puxton tries to make the turn, but he's wrapped up quickly. Good job there by the Freedom Patriots and more.
About 5.5, 6 yards gain here. And people don't talk about how hard that pass is to make. When you're talking about Fontanez putting a little bit of mustard on it, 5-yard out. You got to throw from the far hash all the way to the sideline, and credit Fontanez to putting the correct amount of touch and muscle on that pass to make sure Puxon got that ball in space.
Underway here in the second quarter, and they'll hand this one off, and not much there. Freedom here defensively is playing a little bit different than they were playing in that first quarter. A tough couple yards gained by Gabe Green.
Well, through 2 possessions, you knew there was going to be some changes that needed to happen on the Patriots defense. Looks like they're settling in here, and they've had a couple third downs where they've had an opportunity to get off the field. Here's another 3rd and short. Let's see if they can get a little lucky here and slow down this Hurricanes offense.
3rd down and 3. And they'll give it to Green again. Green powers forward. Green gets the first down, lost the football, but goes out of bounds. Well, the ball's been loose here a couple times today.
Yeah, it was close. I'll tell you what, Coach Roeder coming in here. I'm not sure what he's saying to his player number 15, Evan Waba, but I'll tell you what, that was a nice hit, getting physical, and that's what you're going to need. You're going to need a momentum-changing play. Turnovers usually categorize into that one, especially when you're in this area of the field. And listen, Freedom's bringing more pressure. You're seeing them trying to come right down the middle through the A-gap, stringing those plays out, getting into those gang tackles. They're doing everything in their power to try to slow this offense down.
Coach Roeder talked about physicality and poise. That's what he's hoping he gets from his team. Instead here, Liberty DeLeon with a nice carry across the 45 down to about the 43-yard line.
I liked what Aiden Benner did there on the play, the defensive end for Freedom. Made contact, pushed his offensive lineman into the backfield, made the running back make a decision whether he was going to bounce it to the outside or cut it up. But it also allowed a little bit more time for his other teammates to come in. There was still a gain on the play, 5-6 yards, but I think he prevented an outside run of a lot longer.
Looking to throw, pumping a couple times, now throws in traffic and completes the play and a little bit more. How about the touchdown? Wow. So 45-yard touchdown.
Well, here's Zaire Davis. He's going to just continue to push his defender back. You're looking at 3 deep coverage there for the Patriots, and just coming across in front of both of the defensive backs and the defender finding just a target in the middle of the field. That's all that Davis did. Gave his quarterback a target in the middle of the field, a white jersey in front of the black ones, and credit him for tucking it and then obviously making the move and completing the play in the end zone. But just give Fontanez enough time to find his wide receivers deep. That's exactly what just happened there.
So second time these two have connected. Extra point is up and it is good.
Patriots content not to grab that point back. They're going to continue to kick the extra point so long as they have the lead. But a 20-7 lead now for the Liberty Hurricanes.
For over 175 years, New York Life has been helping families and businesses with their life, disability, and long-term care planning needs. Whether you have current coverage in place or need of reviewing your options, please contact their office in Allentown to find the right plan to fit your needs. Call New York Life at 610-616-4430 today. So a lot of big plays. That one from about 43 yards, Mike.
Wow.
Just adds to the rest of them.
It's explosive play after explosive play for this Antonio Fontanez-led offense. And he's been a crucial part of all the success that we've seen from Liberty offensively this year. And embarrassment of riches when it comes to skill position players for Liberty, but you still have to have the guy who's distributing the ball. Fontanez is doing that effectively, not making any dumb mistakes. He's out there trying to find his guys and keeping plays alive. Even the fact that Freedom continues to add pressure. They're trying to get into the face of Antonio Fontanez, perhaps force a tipped ball or him to rush a pass. He has been resilient back there in the pocket and finding his guys who are, you put guys out there 5-6 seconds, eventually somebody's going to find an open space on the field. That's exactly what happened on that touchdown play.
Yeah, no question. Just as you say, Freedom, down 13-7. Now it's 20-7. Becomes interesting. There's a lot of room here to the near side, but crunching up some players there and still moving forward. Oh, you'd like to see that. Those are the plays. I remember, I'm trying to think, is Chawanski, the guy who played for North Schuylkill. I remember playing against Notre Dame a couple of years back, and and all of a sudden he was not the tallest guy in the world, but he was stacked, and all of a sudden you see him go through the pile.
And you see the pile move.
And then you see the pile leave because he went right through the pile and kept on going.
And that's exactly what we saw there with Kellen Binstead from the Freedom Patriots, not giving up any quality. You mentioned the room to the near side here. You decided to cut it up, but I think even if you would have tried to string that out, I think you would have got the same amount of yardage as he did when he cut the ball up.
So into the second quarter, under 9 to play, 20-7, Liberty leading Freedom in the 59th edition of this huge city rivalry, and going right into the white, Mike, and just nowhere to go. I mean, you're just talking about getting stacked.
I believe that was Rashawn Jones. I'm sorry, that was Pla. Yeah, that there on the carry there. But yeah, I mean, we need physicality from the point of attack. Focus for Coach Roeder when we talked to him pre-game, and you're going to have to get some of those big offensive linemen to create some holes here for some of the running backs. And, we can sit here and harp on who's not in the backfield right now. It's the job of the people on the field to find ways to move the ball.
Now, one of the D tackles for Hurricanes off the field, the senior Nick Schenkel, they got dinged up there at that play. Put this one up. That could be dangerous. And it's intercepted by Puxton. It got tipped by Davis, and Puxton comes up with the INT. You just saw that ball hanging up there a little long.
Yeah, I mean, they were going to try to get to the sideline here, split between the two defenders, like trying to get in between the safety and the corner. Stefanik tried to lead him, but didn't. I don't know if there was a miscommunication on the outside. I don't know if the intended receiver was number 30, Jacob Hawes, on the play, or perhaps the near side receiver. But with any event, not where it wanted to end up ultimately for Stefanik. So put everything he had into that throw, try to get it to the sideline, but credit Puxton. I mean, Davis and Puxton sitting there trying to fight for that ball. Ultimately, Puxton gets it laying on his back, and that's just the kind of athlete he is.
One thing about this game is also when you get into the halftime, it's like restarting the game, right? Mm-hmm. It's not the Super Bowl, right? Mm-hmm. But when you got a 25-minute halftime, that becomes a big time. You're coming off the field, then they put the clock on. Here's Green, powers through, across the 40, up towards about the 43-yard line. But, 25 minutes, but before you leave there, it's an extra 5 minutes by the time you get off the field, right? Yep. Or 3 minutes off the field, and then they add those 3. So you're looking at a long time. So you want to get some momentum going into the locker room. It's still plenty of time, 7:30, but right now Freedom's got to make a huge stop.
Well, I think Liberty, you just want to maybe grind it out there, and I think with the play call, you had the pulling guard, Nazir Barahona, and he met the Freedom defender right in the gap and created a little more yardage for the running back. This is where you could grind it out a little bit and take some time off the clock.
Yeah, Puxton across midfield down to about the 48. He's been solid tonight. He's over 100 yards receiving easily.
Yeah, and just finding ways to get him the ball, whether it's special teams, whether it's defense, whether it's his offensive prowess, starting the game with that long touchdown reception. I've just been floored with what his performance has been through quarter and a half. I can only imagine what his stat line looks like at the end of the game.
From the 48, they'll give that one to DeLeon, and DeLeon gets across the 45 down to about the 43-yard line. Number of players in there.
Rashawn Jones meeting DeLeon in the backfield and hit him pretty hard, stood him up, and still leaned forward for a few yards on the first down carry.
Yeah, Daniel Schiff was there to finish up the play.
So DeLeon getting some work here. Gabe Green not on the field right now, I don't believe, unless he's on the far side. I don't think so. So DeLeon getting some work in the running back spot.
They're going to go far side, and Barlock looking upfield. He's going to make that 9 out of 10 times. He wanted to see what was in front of him because he was going.
Yeah, I mean, you had the blocker out in front there, and Barlock gets that. He could probably lean forward. You're talking about a nice gain on second down. But, yeah, just took his eye off the bar. And honestly, if you're going to drop a ball like that, thankful that it went down, not up, because I think you would be in the hands of a Freedom Patriot defender.
Timeout taken here by the Canes with about 6 minutes and change on the clock. Glad you could join us here for our D11Sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. Good look at Frankie Lane in that pile there, running the show. Hey, football fans, time to get your pickle on at Pickleball Lehigh Valley. Are you ready to try the fastest growing sport in the country? Grab a paddle and join the pickleball action right here at PLV. Courts, leagues, clinics, you name it, we've got it. Bring your friends, get moving, and see why everyone is obsessed with pickleball. Don't wait. Hit the court and join the fun today. Stop by the Sportsplex on Crackersport Road or visit pickleballlehighvalley.com. Mike, you a pickleball guy?
I've only ever played once, but I feel like I would get into it. I've wanted to get into tennis for a while, so I feel like this is a nice, dip my foot in for tennis.
Well, I can tell you this. I played tennis in high school. I played tennis a little bit in college as well.
So you should be a pickleball.
Well, I did try it a couple times. I kind of liked it. My friend comes in from Kentucky, and I'm a little bit out of shape. Let's just say that.
You and me both, kid.
That takes a lot out of you. We played one game, and I was done. He goes, we're playing 5. I go, 5?
Yeah,
I was toast.
There's a reason it's the fastest growing sport in America.
On the home side.
I want to thank Nick Standard for his hospitality, Fred Harris, everything they do with Freedom and Liberty, coaches again, and the statisticians getting all the stats. The Whirls, they do a tremendous job with all the stats. They get this one over to Green, and Green sees the outside across the 30, inside the 25, 20, makes a turn up field, inside the 10, and finally gets taken down right around the 8-yard line.
So that, to me, is just great an offensive play call because you've noticed that Freedom has continued to come through the A-gap. Why not put a running back exactly where the Freedom defenders were once standing? And that's what you saw. Gabe Green, obviously a great run after catch, but now you're putting yourself in a 3rd and long, from a 3rd and long to a 1st and goal. And that's what that Hurricane offense can do. By the way, so as long as we're giving shout-outs, I'm going to give a shout-out to Shadow down there on the track.
Okay.
The Freedom pup dog.
Yeah.
I see him all the time.
From the 9, Green again will get it. Powers forward, gets a couple. It's a huge possession here as you're looking at the clock winding down to around 5 minutes.
As I'm sitting here watching, and I know the inevitable path for these two teams perhaps next week, I think of what kind of out Liberty is going to be in the postseason. They're going to be a handful.
Yeah, no question.
They're going to be a handful to wrangle in.
Looking to throw this one. And Stagg going to go in for the touchdown.
So much of what Antonio Fontanez is able to do is read the defense and take what they're giving them. And Fontanez was keeping his eyes down the field as he continued to roll to the near side, finding whether or not he could distribute the ball. Made the decision once the path opened up that, hey, I can take this, tuck it, and run it and get it myself. As he goes in, that is now his 7th rushing touchdown of the season.
And points off turnovers. Puxton had the INT, and it leads to the Fontanez 7-yard touchdown run. And for Fontanez, he now has 4 touchdowns on the day, 3 through the air and 1 on the ground. Extra point by Hackett is good, and that increases the lead to 27-7 Liberty.
I knew Liberty would get to move the ball. I knew that. It's going to be a matter of, can Freedom keep them out of the end zone? So far, it has not worked out. But the scheme right now, what Liberty's been able to do and finding their guys in space and beating individual matchups, you got to just tip your hat because they're scheming their guys open, and Fontanez is finding the guy and making the right decision.
Talk about Antonio Fontanez, single-season touchdown passes with 28 coming in. Single-season touchdown passes, touchdown passes. He had 6 against Stroudsburg. Jake Puxton, single-season touchdown receptions, 13. Single-game touchdown reception against that Stroudsburg where he scored 5. Career receptions coming in. He's added to that over 128. Give him about 133, 134 right now.
And, just really impressive. And in a season where you're seeing records being broken all over the place, I think back to a night ago with what Cole Ordway was able to do at Nazareth, 7 touchdowns on the ground. Just the guy is finding every way to be a dynamic playmaker, and you got to watch that undefeated Red Rover team as they go into the postseason.
No question about that. This ball will go into the end zone. Again, shout out to our student reporters that go to school both at Liberty and Freedom, but doing certain things here and not being part of the live stream. Maddie Erlicki's in the band. Morales maybe floating down there on the Liberty sideline. Amy Ayeskis from Freedom is one of the letters in the crowd.
That Liberty cheering section, a lot to be excited about today.
First down and 10, Freedom from their own 20-yard line.
So the Patriots will start from their own 20 with about 4.5 minutes left unofficially. Again, the clock here and the scoreboard not working. Oh no, I looked over. I thought I saw it working. I looked over for a split second. I go, hey, I see something there, but
it's the graphics on top of the.
That's it.
The actual scoreboard, but
well, it got overcast. The sun went away and got overcast a little bit.
Second down and 3.
Big drive here for Freedom.
Yeah, you don't want the sun to go down on the Patriots this early in the game. But they're going to have to find some creative solutions to, not only move the ball, but retain the ball and keep it away from Antonio Fontanez and the Liberty Hurricanes. Like, as much as you want to talk about the defensive lapses that the Patriots have had and the offensive success of Liberty, now it's on your offense to grind it out and keep it off the field. So this may be this could be the last possession of the half.
Here's Pla. And Pla will move the chains for a first down. Inside 4 minutes to play.
We talked about the fact that LaShawn Johnson's not there. We talked to Jason Roeder and saying, what are you expecting about the guys who are going to have to come in and fill the void for LaShawn Johnson? And he wants them to be aggressive, and if your number is going to be called and this is the gap that you're assigned, get to that gap right away. Don't overread the defense. Trust your offensive lineman to create the hole and just be diligent about staying disciplined of what the play call is. I think sometimes, people always want to try to create plays, and sometimes that could be losses of yardage. He just wants the running back team to find ways to move the ball vertically.
Looking to throw and throws that one away. Good pressure by Liberty's J.J. Pujols.
And for Stefanik, he's trying to extend that play, waiting for some guys to get open. There really isn't anybody open down the field for him to find the ball to distribute to. It's a suffocating defense right now from Liberty. And you hear the PA announcer saying we're approaching the 3-minute mark here before halftime. But, they got to find a way to move the ball here. And it's a second down play, second and long, and just get a few yards here to set yourself up in a good position for a third down play.
First down marker right around the 43-yard line. Pla gets taken down. He got popped first by DeLeon and then goes down.
J.J. Pujols in there as well for Liberty and meeting the guys at the point of attack. And, I think I like the play call, but, Liberty read it and waited for that delayed handoff to come back the other way and met him right there and didn't allow any kind of yardage on second down. Now it's a 3rd and 9.
And they got 2 receivers lined up here to the near side. Stefanik going to throw, and that one's popped up high and almost intercepted. He was looking in the direction for Pearson, but boy, oh boy, there was some traffic there. Zaire Davis was in the mix. A couple guys in there.
Yeah, Stefanik, I don't think it was a terrible read. I mean, he had his receiver there on the stop route and would have been a first down, but not able to secure the pass there. And now we're talking about a 4th down with about 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go here in the half. And I'll tell you what, that's the best thing that they could possibly do as Stefanik in there. Punt it to the sideline. Don't give it to Jake Buxton.
Nope. All right, so Mike, we got 2 minutes changed left. Liberty's been doing a great job with Fontanez. He's been tremendous today. When you look at their explosive players, they've been doing what they have to do, right?
Everyone's getting involved. Everyone's getting involved, and it's explosive play for Davis, explosive play for Puxton. Barlock's getting in there. I mean, everywhere you look. Gabe Green had a great 3rd down conversion for a long run. So all of their skill position players have factored in to the offensive success. Now, here's a very crucial drive. We talked about Freedom being able to milk the clock and maybe hold on to that final possession of the half. Worst case scenario here is Liberty gets an additional score to pile on before half. Now, Freedom will get that ball coming out of halftime, but you would want to stop the bleeding a little bit here on the defensive side of the ball. So, that actually helps there as a first down carry for no gain.
I think when you look at it, your Freedom right now, you need to stop them here. You absolutely need to stop them and see if you can come up with a big play at the same time. Liberty, unless they have some timeouts left. So I think it's once you get towards midfield, then you decide what you want to do. They'll flare it over to Puxon. Puxon will get out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Your Liberty right now, you're in the part of the field where you can start moving the ball the way you want to.
Got a flag on the play here. We'll see where it ends up, but it looks like they're pointing towards Freedom on this one. I don't know, Al. I'm very optimistic because the scoreboard might be revived for the second half.
Oh, it is now.
Well, the clock's not operating, but the score is being accurate on the up there.
All right.
I'm optimistic. An eligible man downfield, I believe.
Yep. So just as they get up to 45-yard line, that will change things. And the sun has gone away here momentarily. And the clouds have set in. Again, if you're just joining us, we had the bands to start the game. They always do a great performance. Now the flag's coming up.
That's interesting.
This is very interesting. All right, well, the ball with that is up to the 44-yard line. Not sure what happened there.
Well, first down yardage for the Hurricanes on the result of the play. And they're approaching midfield here. And again, we're looking at that clock, and it's your friend if you're Freedom.
From the 44, that's a dangerous one. And the ball's still loose. Freedom may have this one.
They do. They do.
So the Patriots.
Gabe Green juggled that one, never officially secured it, wasn't able to tuck it away, and it is officially Freedom football here in Hurricane territory. Nice pitch out. It looked like Green
there's
was.
no signal. Just and
there
it is.
Yeah,
Finally, it is. Okay.
I'll tell you what. I think Gabe Green saw that Freedom defender in the backfield and was trying to focus on where he was going to go here. If Green just secures that ball, maybe it's a loss on the play, but take another look at it here. As the guys coming up field, it was Brian Renshaw for Freedom that caused the confusion there. And it looked like Gabe Green was doing the right thing and trying to fall right on it, but that thing squirted out and right into the hands of a Patriot defender. So now you feel really good if you're Freedom here. Not only did you prevent Liberty from scoring between the halves, if you can get a score here and get the ball in the third quarter, this is a new game. This is a really crucial drive here.
Huge. I said if they can make a big play, it's one thing to stop them, but if you score, that's something different. They'll go the same play. They'll pitch to Pla, and Pla gets popped.
How many times are we calling Adrian DeLeon's name here from the defensive side of the ball? He is all over the place. And when you saw the guys shift in there for Freedom, you figured they had that strong set to the outside, but somebody missed a block there. And credit DeLeon for stopping that play before it got started.
Hey, Mike, guess what? Scoreboard's working.
Get out. 106. That thing's counting down now. Now
Freedom,
under a minute.
Yeah, Freedom's going to make sure that they have the timeout.
They got to burn some time here.
But you don't want to give Liberty the ball back. Here's a chance. That one's in traffic, and he gets it up there, and the reception is made downfield to Renshaw.
I'll tell you what, there was some hand checking there, and the Liberty defender had a hand on the jersey. I was waiting to see a flag come out because there was a lot of contact there.
That was Moore, excuse me.
I'll tell you, but still, Davian Moore, to continue with that post route and continue to run, he sets up this offense here with 35 seconds to go in a really good spot. And gets the Hurricanes on their heels a little bit.
And from the 8-yard line, Pla has it. Pla powers forward. And now with 24 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, I like the play call. See if you can find some room here right up the middle. But credit Liberty. They've been in every gap. Every time Freedom's trying to run a ball up the middle, they have found the gap and stuffed it. But, hey, 2 more timeouts if you're the Freedom Patriots. You're inside the 10-yard line. You got 7 yards till pay dirt. This is a huge momentum-swinging drive here, an opportunity for the Patriots. I expect Coach Roeder to pull out all the stops here, maybe even think 4-down territory.
Yeah, no question. Right now, 27-7. You still have 2 timeouts left as well, so
Yep.
you can run, you can do anything you want at this point.
Yeah, get creative, get into the playbook, and see what you can do here to confuse this Hurricane defense. I mean, wow. I mean, a huge momentum shifting play there with that turnover. And, Freedom has been desperate for a play like that and to keep themselves alive in this game. Again, getting the second half kickoff is going to create another offensive possession. But if you can get 7 here, crucial.
From the 7, they'll keep it on the ground. They'll have to bang another timeout here.
Yeah, they're going right behind center and guard, and Liberty is right there waiting for them. I don't know if there's maybe perhaps some misdirection you can go to on 3rd down that can create some space for a receiver or something. But at this point, I think you're kind of hamstrung here with 2 pass plays.
For over 175 years, New York Life has been helping families and businesses with their life, disability, and long-term care planning needs. Whether you have current coverage in place or in need of reviewing your options, please contact their office in Allentown to find the right plan to fit your needs. Call New York Life at 610-616-4430 today. Well, speaking of today, we've got an interesting matchup between these 2 teams. Again, they'll have an extended halftime. If you're Freedom, all you ask for right now, if you can get in.
7. You need 7.
Yep, you get in. You're right back in the mix of the game, because coming out, you get the football, and it's just like that. But easier said than done. It's 3rd and goal from the 5.
Looking to spread things out here offensively if you're Freedom. Create some more pay. Okay, I think that's smart. A smart timeout here by Liberty to see what Freedom's going to line up in and kind of make your adjustments defensively. Perhaps that Freedom was in a formation that was going to create a weakness in the Hurricane defense, or it's just a matter of a little sportsmanship here. Go back. Let's see what we can go back to the drawing board for, to see if they come out with the same formation.
I was just going to say, are they coming back with the same formation or not? Well, we'll see.
This has been an interesting game so far. I mean, some dazzling offensive plays. Got a turnover. You got great 3rd down conversions. You got superstars playing up. You got resiliency coming into play if you're the Freedom Patriots, guys having to step up and become a bigger part of the offensive game plan as LaShawn Johnson goes down. It's been an interesting back and forth so far. I know the scoreboard probably doesn't tell that story, but if Freedom gets in the end zone here, it certainly can.
Absolutely. So 3rd down and goal from the 5. 19 ticks on the clock. Looking to throw. Nothing there. Stefanik trying to make a turn, will get a big block, and now makes a turn. See if he can still eye up to throw it. Now he does, in traffic. That was intercepted. Picked off.
Guess who?
And DeLeon has been everywhere today. Makes the INT. Wow, and there's flags on the play.
I think it must have been after.
Down as well.
I think it was after the interception, probably blocks trying to create space. But 2 Hurricanes players down. We'll take another look at the interception here, but you're trying to create something here. Liberty just sitting back in coverage, and there's nowhere to throw the ball. And that's what we've seen. Stefanik's been trying to find receivers, just nobody there. Turns into the scramble drill, but DeLeon continuing to be there for Liberty, creating havoc defensively. And we're now just watching the Liberty players on the field. Hopefully everyone doing okay here at the end of the first half.
Yeah, there's 4 seconds left.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, a huge moment for that Freedom defense, the Liberty defense, to stand tall there and prevent a score before the half. Because if we're talking about a score there, it's a different game going into the 3rd quarter. So two flags against Freedom. I believe they're being declined. And probably just come out, kneel on the ball, head into the locker room for the half.
Yeah, some players really dinged up here for Liberty. Hopefully they go in the locker room, they can, regroup, and hopefully they're okay.
Yeah.
So they put 4 seconds on the clock.
It's a miracle. Scoreboard working, baby.
So DeLeon comes up with the interception in the end zone. And the momentum, again, switches over to Liberty, and they'll have that momentum going into the locker room. Again, ideally, they're going to take a knee here and do that.
Can't wait to hear from Santos at halftime, see what's going on down on the field, and perhaps getting a quick word in with Coach Dano. And there it is. That'll be the end of the first half.
There it is. Santos working it right now. Let's see if we can get Coach. All right, so Santos waiting for Coach Dano.
Right at midfield there, and he's got a lot to be happy about.
All right, Coach, big momentum going into the second half. How do you feel? What is going to be the talk in the locker room today?
We got to protect the football, right? Not just the one fumble, but it's been on the ground a couple of other times. We protect the football, we should be fine.
Anything else you want to say to the players who's their last game and a lot of penalties we've had so far? Anything to that end?
Yeah, I mean, we got to keep our cool. We got to keep our head, let them get the penalties. All right.
All right, Coach, good luck for the second half.
Thanks.
All right, Santos, good job down there with Coach Dano. We appreciate him as he goes into the locker room. It is halftime. We'll come right back. It's 27-7 Liberty over Freedom. You're watching our D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine.
Stay active. St. Luke's Orthopedic Care will get you back to doing what you love. With locations near you, including St. Luke's Orthopedic Hospital West End campus, the best place for orthopedic care is always close to home.
St. Luke's OMS offers a revolutionary dental implant solution to help you regain your smile. The All-on-4 procedure provides a permanent alternative to traditional dentures that will give you immediate results and enhance your quality of life. Everyone has a story, and your smile is the best way to tell it. It shows your confidence, greets new friends, and opens the door to new possibilities.
St. Luke's OMS offers All-on-4 dental implants, a revolutionary solution to help you regain your smile.
Dental implants are a minimally invasive procedure that provides a permanent alternative to traditional dentures that will give you immediate results and enhance your quality of life. Get the smile you deserve with St. Luke's OMS. Contact us today.
Back here at Bethlehem Area School District Stadium, you're watching our D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. Al DeCarlo, Mike Raymond with you. 27-7 in favor of Liberty. Down to the field and the Liberty Grenadier marching band.
afternoon, Bethlehem. For your halftime entertainment, Freedom High School in the Bethlehem Area School District present the 2025 Freedom Patriot Marching Band. The band is under the direction of Michael Moran, Andrew Lynn, and percussion instructor Chris Dreamer. This year's show is Jazz Through the Ages. We start with the jazz rock fusion classic Birdland, made famous by Weather Report. We continue with Jazz Police, a Gordon Goodwin classic from the swing revival of the early 2000s. Our final tune takes you to the roots of the big band era with Count Basie's Jumpin' at the Woodside, featuring Kirsten Rubery and Christian McKelvey on trumpet. show isn't over yet. It wouldn't be a Freedom Liberty game without the FHS drum solo composed by our very own drum instructor, Chris Pregame.
Watching halftime here, both teams getting ready to start the third quarter. Before they do, Santos Martinez is down on the field. He has two of our student interns, one from Nazareth and one from Bangor, and he's going to talk to them now, and we'll send it down to Santos Martinez.
All right, so I'm here with Sydney, the 11 Sports reporter. Sydney, tell us a little more about your profession and why you chose to be in the 11 Sports.
Well, I heard about D11 Sports from my teacher for visual media, and I just really got into photography, and that's definitely something that they've helped me with, going to a bunch of different games and stuff. And it's just fun being able to talk to the coaches, get insight on what's going on with the games. Taking pictures in general, it's great. So, yeah.
We were talking a little bit before the interview about how you do it for high school, for your high school in Nazareth. Can you tell us a favorite game that you photographed or anything that was big to you that you photographed in your time as doing this?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I love my Nazareth guys. They're my favorite to photograph, obviously. I'm biased on that. My favorite, probably the Jahan Dotson sign-off. That was really fun. That was great.
And is there anything you want to tell future D11 Sports reporters or someone who wants to join our program? Can you tell us a little more about how they can do it, or if there's a way that they want to do it, give them some motivation on doing this?
Talk to your athletic director. Sign up for it. It's a really fun time. You meet a bunch of new people. I've met a bunch of new people learning this. Yeah, it's just a great experience overall.
All right, it was nice talking to you. I have my friend Ty here as well, another D11 Sports reporter who's a photographer. Ty, tell us a little more about your journey and why you decided to become a D11 Sports reporter and photographer.
So I got really into sports photography, I want to say a little less than a year now. And one of my friends referred me to Al and sent my work over, and she really took it from there. It's been a lot of fun. Got to do a bunch of fun games and get to show my work out a little more.
Tell us a little more about your favorite moments you've got to do sports photography. What is your favorite event, sports game, whatever the case may have been? Can you tell us a little more about that?
I would say my favorite sports game would be the Jahan Dotson jersey retirement at Nazareth. I got to do some pretty cool work, being in the boardroom, hearing him talk, doing a little photos there and doing photos of him during the ceremony. I even got him to put one of my photos up on his Instagram, which was really cool.
Tell us a little more also just about your journey and where you want to go after you graduate Bangor. Tell us a little more about what you want to do in college, where you want to go, and what are your goals in life?
So I'm looking to do some sort of business, focus in college. Not sure where exactly I want to go. Probably a Big Ten school like Penn State and try and get out onto their field and keep involved with the sports photography.
And a message to future D11 sports reporters.
Get involved. I wish I did this sooner. It's a lot of fun, and I wish I knew about it like freshman year, and I got to do it sooner.
Appreciate it. All right, guys, back to you up there.
All right, Santos, great job, and seeing our students down there as well. Hearing from them. Mike, you've been around with us for a long time, and you've seen what we've been seeing with these with our student reporters and what they have accomplished, and getting a chance to hear, from Sydney, getting a chance to hear from Tig, and getting them involved not only in photography, but they both talked about Jahan Dotson. They were both there, being in the boardroom, being able to be next to him, and seeing how all that is handled.
Rapid growth, great opportunity for kids, confidence booster. I think high school kids, it can feel a little intimidating to do something like this, and you have to get out there right in the nitty gritty, ask tough questions, get the right photo, get the right shot, and there's an art to this, and this gives them an opportunity to learn, to make mistakes, and to grow.
Yeah, indeed. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get you ready to start the third quarter of play between Freedom and Liberty. It's 27-7 in favor of Liberty. You're watching our D11sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine.
Everyone has a story, and your smile is the best way to tell it. It shows your confidence, greets new friends, and opens the door to new possibilities.
St. Luke's OMS offers all-on-4 dental implants, a revolutionary solution to help you regain your smile.
Dental implants are a minimally invasive procedure that provides a permanent alternative to traditional dentures that will give you immediate results and enhance your quality of life. Get the smile you deserve with St. Luke's OMS. Contact us today.
We're back. 27-7 is your score. We get ready for both teams to make their way onto the field. Show you a quick highlights of some action that happened in the first half, Mike. And obviously, when you're Liberty, you take things over fast, and it started with Fontanez hitting Jake Puxon from 48 yards.
Yeah, clean pocket for Fontanez, and of course, Puxon with the route running and ability that he has, beating his defender. It's going to be a handful for any competent defender to go after Jake Puxon, and he made Freedom pay on that. And then the offense just continued from there, with what Liberty was able to do here.
Yeah, 12-yard touchdown pass here coming up from Fontanez. He hits Zaire Davis. I think you talked about this a number of times. He's getting every one of his receivers involved. When you start doing that, it gets interesting. And then, Freedom needed a touchdown. They got a big one. This one 52 yards to Avion Moore from Mike Stefanik.
Well, and Stefanik created extra time for his receiver to get open, got behind the defense, and it was a crucial score to bring it in within one score of Liberty, and knowing what they were able to do offensively.
But waiting in the wings was Fontanez again. Zaire Davis, he connects with, makes the turn, and got loose. He went 43 yards for the touchdown. That made it 20-7. Puxon had a big INT, and then Fontanez will take it in here from 7 yards to make it 27-7 in favor of Liberty. And they just got in and crossed there, and we sit here with a 27-7 score. Great job by Kevin to get those highlights up and get you ready. Love watching the bands in this as well, and that's where we stand right now, 27-7. Again, you've been in the locker room for 30 minutes. You're Freedom. Coach Roeder's talked to his team. Coach Roeder's ready right now to restart and say, hey, they won the first half. Let's win the second half.
Well, and also, Coach Roeder is able to make those defensive adjustments. He's a good defensive and a gritty coach. I think he'll have his guys ready to come out and put something on the board here.
And they get the football to start things off. They'll start from around the 32-yard line. For over 175 years, New York Life has been helping families and businesses with their life, disability, and long-term care planning needs. Whether you have current coverage in place or in need of reviewing your options, please contact their office in Allentown to find the right plan to fit your needs. Call New York Life at 610-616-4430 today. Underway, second half.
First down and 10, Freedom from their own 31-yard line.
And let's see what the Patriots do here from the 30. And they go on the ground, and Plov powers through to get about 4.5 yards. Take a look at number 9, who after the injury to LaShawn Johnson, he came in at 131 yards against Easton, really to get him ready for this game. Now, he hasn't got himself a big run yet. And Coach Roder told us, he's going to have to find the gap and follow that gap. A little different kind of runner.
Well, if I was Pla, I'd just find number 63 on that offensive line, Dan Schifford, and follow him through the gap. I mean, he knows what he's been doing. He's a senior, and he's a big part of this offensive attack for Freedom.
Stefanik rolls, and now he's going to try to go upfield. He'll be short of the first down by about a yard or so as he gets out of bounds right around the 40-yard line.
Maybe that's part of the offensive adjustments for Coach Roder here in the second half, maybe allowing Stefanik to break the pocket a little bit, use his legs and athletic ability to create some yardage because, the running game has been stagnant to this point, other than the long pass from Stefanik in the first half that ended up, in the end zone. It's been a lot of stalled out drives for this Freedom Patriots offense. So they got to find ways to get Stefanik in space and get receivers in space, honestly, here. Starts on 3rd and short.
3rd down and 2 from the 39, and Pla got tripped up, but looks like he just got enough to move the chains for a first down.
There was a nice hole right behind Dan Schifford there, and that's what you need. You need just straight ahead running and get what the defense is going to give you. And then also when you meet that defensive lineman or linebacker in the hole, run through him, continue to get those legs churning to get all the yardage that you could potentially get here. Far sideline says 4th down, but I believe this is 1st down.
Yes, I agree with you too. Looking to throw and does connect and hits Moore. Moore's been active today.
But hey, look at it. You're getting 5 yards on the first possession. You get the first down on 3rd down. Now you get 6-7 yards on the second throw of the first down. This is 6-7, yeah, 100%. But listen, this is a successful offensive drive thus far for Freedom.
2nd down and 2. The ball at midfield, right at the 50 for Stefanik. Good opening drive to this point. And I'll go back to Pla. Pla bounces off a defender, powers forward, moves the chains, 1st down. The ball inside the 45 down to about the 44-yard line.
And using his ability to set the blocks, waiting to see what's open, going one way, seeing the hole, cutting back to the middle, and getting extra yardage there. And I like what they're able to do. You're going to start being physical on the offensive line and moving the ball through the running game. I like what the plan is so far. Now, it's got to continue to grind it out here. Make Liberty stay on the field as much as possible here defensively.
And they go on the ground again. This time it's Jahir Hughes, the 5'10", 200-pound junior. Hughes with 51 carries, 243 yards on the season.
Love that Rashawn Jones for Freedom there to seal the edge block and create a hole, and that's right between the tackle and the guard, and seal the edge and found some positive yards there. Only 3 yards on that one, but still an effective run on 1st down. And Al, the biggest halftime adjustment, biggest positive thing, that working scoreboard.
Yes, I like it very much. Kevin likes it too.
Yes.
Stefanik looking to throw. And he's going to try to run it upfield. He has a lot of space there and slides across. And there's a flag on the play. And this could be a hold coming back.
Yeah. But again, going back to what we were saying, for using Michael Stefanik's legs to potentially create some offense, it looks like, I don't know. Maybe you're calling that, maybe you're not. I think a little ticky-tack there, but a hold's a hold, I guess.
Yeah.
But that puts you behind the sticks a little bit here, and not what you want to see here for Freedom.
Yeah, you're sitting there maybe at the 36-yard line, 35-yard line. All of a sudden, you're back at your own 48.
So 2nd and 8 goes to a 2nd and 18, and that's a much different offensive play call.
So 2nd down and 18 from the 48, down 27-7. They fake it, now give it to Pla. Pla powers across midfield and gets some good positive yards there to bring up a 3rd down.
Nice halfback draw, wait for the defense to come in a little bit and then find the hole and get some positive yardage. But if you've noticed here, the only type of outside run we've seen from Freedom on this drive has been through the quarterback. Everything else has been right up the gut and between the guard, center, and tackle.
4 yards. 3rd down and 14.
So 14 yards for a 1st down here.
Rolling near side. Looking downfield, but really was running the whole time and still at the end of that play.
Might get some free yardage here.
Well, I was just going to say, you're going out of bounds. You're about 5-6 yards short. But then watch the end of the play.
But I think I like what they're doing. They're moving the pocket with Stefanik, allowing him to use his legs to create extra time for receivers to get open. Flag here on the near sideline. It looks like they shoved him out of bounds. Doesn't look like Sean Dano. Yep, some free yardage here. Hey, on 3rd and 14, that's the best case scenario. Yeah, personal foul penalty.
Yeah, I don't think Coach Dano has the vantage point that we had there. You know, a little different.
As much as that hold call for Freedom, I think you're splitting hairs. Is it a foul? Probably, but
down to the 26. Again, is the opening drive. Looking to throw, has all the time in the world, but no one downfield. Now finds a receiver and incomplete.
There was good coverage on the backside down the middle. It looked like he was waiting for number 10 Jackson Pearson to come open. You know, Barlock was on his hip the whole time, but I think single coverage, that's one that maybe Stefanik wants to throw it up there one more time and let his receiver go up and make a play. And put just a little bit too much mustard coming back to the near side on the near side receiver.
Yeah, that was Moore.
Yeah, Moore was on the near side.
26-yard line again. Here comes the blitz.
Like that.
Just gets it over to Pla, and Pla now comes interior and gets inside the 20 down to about the 19-yard line.
What I was waiting to see is that screen game for Freedom, because you know that this Liberty team, this defense, been on the field for probably the longest they've been on the field this game.
100%.
And, they're going to get a little frustrated and bring some pressure after you and then use that aggressiveness against them, find the screen pass, and you saw Pla find the open hole, and then it creates a 3rd and short. Got 3 yards to go to move the sticks here.
From the 19, receiver split, one on either side. And they will indeed keep it on the ground, trying to power and get another first down. They will, and again, they go to Jair Hughes.
Jair Hughes, 5'10", 200-pound junior, right between the tackles, and it said, I'm going to get this first down for my Patriot teammates, and we're going to try to come away with this drive with some points here.
Mike, I'm watching.
Yeah, Coach Dano's a little fired up there.
Yeah, he's not happy.
Not sure what he saw that we didn't. But continuing on here, this is the best you could possibly hope for if you're a Freedom supporter coming out of the half.
Yeah, they were here before at the end of the half, but through an INT, so they're trying to get some points here. A lot of time coming off the clock, but at this point, they just want to just get the ball in the end zone, worry about that time later. Your key is to score first and then, see what you can do afterwards. But right now, how about this drive?
Fantastic drive. And here's the one thing that I like for Freedom that I think plays into their favor. They had the ball at the end of the half, and it was a goal-to-go situation here. You could still get a first down here inside the 5-yard line and get a fresh set of downs. And the way they've been moving the ball, it hasn't been gashing, but it's been 2 yards, 3 yards here, 4 yards here. So if they continue to do that and commit to the run game, they might be in good shape here, like they continue to do here.
From the 10 is Pla. He got tripped up immediately. And good old De Leon has been there all night long.
But again, 4 yards on the play, setting up a 3rd and short. And if you can get 2 yards here and a first down, you have 4 more cracks at the end zone. And you need to come away with a touchdown here. Field goal does nothing for you. So 4-down situation, I think, whether it is here or perhaps an extra set of downs if they get the 2 yards.
Mike, you said it. You don't need a first down here. You just need you don't need a touchdown here. You just need a first down.
Yep.
From the 6, 3rd and 2. And they'll try to get the 2. They'll get the 2 for the first down, and they'll get in for the touchdown. 6-yard touchdown by Jair Hughes, and a great opening drive by the Patriots to cut into the lead.
What I like from Coach Roeder here is if it's a short yardage situation, he's going to bring in the 200-pound junior in Hughes, and he's going to bruise his way for that 2 yard, and just kept his balance, kept his feet underneath him, and kept driving into the end zone. And that's as best as you can ask for Freedom, and makes you think back like what this game could be had they were able to come up with points the last time down there.
Extra point by Standard is good. And here with 5:33 on the clock, it's 27-14 in favor of Liberty. The Freedom touchdown pass, touchdown run by Jahir Hughes. And for him, that's his 6th rushing touchdown of the year.
And I wanted to be a fly on the wall in the Freedom locker room during halftime.
They would have squashed you. They would have squashed
I'll tell you right. Well, Coach Roeder might be leading the way on that one. I mean, he's probably a fiery coach. He knows this physical style offense, win in the trenches. That's what you saw there in that first drive of the second half for the Pates. And 13-point deficit now for Freedom, but a little closer to their ultimate goal. Took a lot of time off the clock in that first drive too.
Would you have been the annoying fly on the wall, or are you just going to sit there?
I just want to view.
Okay.
I just want to watch.
Just checking.
I wouldn't buzz by anybody's ears or anything.
That's what I'm saying. You start
no flybys.
You start frustrating me then, if that's the case.
Now, thinking back to what Coach Dano said to Santos at halftime, and it's incumbent on Liberty to take care of the ball here, because the last thing you want to do is give Freedom another free possession, and certainly on this side of the field. So, the ball has gone on the ground a few times. If you're looking for nitpicks for Liberty, that's pretty much all you have to this point.
Green. There's a flag on the play, and Green is down inside the 40, makes a turn, still on his feet, inside the 20, down to the 10-5 touchdown. But there's a flag on the play. There's a couple of them. Let's see if this comes down. But Gabe Green had a huge run, and this one may be coming back.
Yeah, Coach Dano's pleading his case out there, but when you have not one but 2 flags in the same vicinity, usually in the area of holding, and judging by this expression on the face of Coach Dano, this one's coming back.
Today's game brought to you by Michael R. Glovis, financial advisor at Morgan Stanley, located at 101 Larry Holmes Drive, Suite 301 in Easton, PA. For all your investment needs, call Michael R. Glovis at 610-559-6380. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. No matter your sport or position, St. Luke's Sports Medicine can train you to avoid injury. And if you do get injured, we're there with the best athletic trainers, performance coaches, physical therapists, and orthopedic sports medicine physicians and surgeons to get you back on your feet and back in the game. St. Luke's is the region's only varsity team in sports medicine. Mike, as we get back to action here, we always use that word momentum, right? And all of a sudden, you return a touchdown, but the holding, and they got him pinned inside the 10-yard line. Freedom defensively comes up with a big play here, make it interesting. They go right up for it, and they look for Puxon, and Puxon had to go down to his feet really to try to make that grab. He was waiting for it again and couldn't bring it in.
I'll tell you what, there was some confusion in the secondary here. If you waited a half second more, he would have seen Barlock wide open heading towards the far sideline. You can see him right around the 30-yard line. Puxon had his guy beat. It was just not the most accurate pass there from Fontanez. But you can't point fingers at what he's been doing so far.
No.
So you're allowed one, right?
Yes.
But hey, you talked about momentum right there.
Yeah.
That would have been grabbing it right back.
And pump flushed out of the pocket. Fontanez will throw, and he will complete the pass to Zaire Davis. Davis makes a turn. Davis still on his feet. Gets a block. There's a flag thrown.
Yeah.
And he is still on his feet.
I'm not sure if it's the block. It looked like a block in the back, right at the near part of the 30-yard line after the catch. And the pressure was there. Yeah, it looked like Liberty number 10 there came through and was a block in the back. Not quite sure. They've really been thorough with these referee meetings.
Yeah, they have. You're right. And Mike, while I have a second here, and while they make this call, I wanted to get your thoughts on Penn State and James Franklin, and and your thoughts of everything going on at State College.
Yeah, it's a transition time right now for everybody who says that Franklin was the wrong coach. I don't know if I necessarily believe that, but at a certain point, you have to win certain games. And when you didn't do that against Oregon, and the train came off the tracks at UCLA and Northwestern, and I thought the team played with a little more juice at Iowa, I will say, but this thing has gone sideways fast. And you fire him now because you feel like you have some time to do the search, but with no slam dunk candidate out there, it's a little.
No, Saban, I don't think
He's not in.
Job.
He's not in.
Here we go, looking to throw. Fontanez throws, and that one incomplete. I thought Lane Kiffin would be the guy.
I thought would be.
Now he's going to Florida. Does Urban Meyer come to Penn State?
I'm not interested.
I know you're not interested. I don't care who you're interested in.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see, kind of. But
it's a lot.
They do have to get. I keep talking about John Gruden. Does he come?
I don't want that either.
All right, well, again, you want to get a big fish. You don't want to go laterally. You know what I mean?
know.
So. But like you said, when you don't win those games, and records show that, you're always going to go 9-3 or whatever it is. That's great. But
it's still great, but it's not what the leadership wants.
Correct. On the ground they go.
Smart.
And this time, no flags and busting through everyone all the way across the 40-yard line is Gabe Green.
Yeah, Gabe Green, very patient there, waited for the hole to open up, wide open, 3rd and short, and just found the seam there in the Patriot defense. Defensive tackle got way upfield into the backfield, and Gabe Green went right around him. Big first down there. And this is where the Liberty offense gets a little scary. You're out across the 40, close to midfield. A lot of empty space to move the ball.
From the 43. Fontanez to throw, and not where you wanted to throw that one.
Wow.
Closest player, I believe, was Evan Wamba from Freedom.
Yeah, a little interesting there. Kind of looks like what Freedom was doing and waiting for the receivers to get open down the field by moving the pocket. First time that I didn't see a wide open receiver. I feel like Liberty has had their choice of who they want to throw the ball to. They've been scheming their guys open, and the guys are making plays. But 2nd and 10 here, and for Freedom.
Said to Frankie Lane before the game, how you feel? He goes, I feel good. He goes, I'm not the one out there. I'm just calling the plays, but I'm not the one out there, in the mix.
Love the defensive back pressure off the edge there, forcing Fontanez to throw it a little faster than he wanted to. And that's kind of what we were talking with Coach Roeder about before the game. And you gotta force him to rush his throws, or he's just going to sit back there and pick you apart.
Yeah.
That's what we've seen to this point.
And, Mike, look at where we are now, 3rd down and 10. Little by little, not that much time was taken off the clock. They scored the 5:33 mark. You're talking about a minute off the clock because of the incompletions. You're Freedom.
But that's Liberty's offense. Like, you're going to move the ball through the air.
And they're going to try to do it again, and they will make the catch on the far sideline by Zaire Davis.
Listen, I think that was great coverage on the play. That's just, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to grab it. I'm going to play you one-on-one, and I feel like I have the confidence. It's a nice comeback route, and you know where the sticks are, and just get past them and make the catch. And that's not an easy catch for Zaire Davis on the far sideline. So I'll tell you what, I'm really impressed with the play call and the execution on that play. Boy.
1st and 10 from the 39-yard line.
It's like a false start there. Going to move him back.
Third penalty of this drive.
It hasn't come back to bite him yet.
Nope.
As long as you're resilient on 3rd down and you're able to move the chains. Although I'm sure if you phrase it like that to Coach Dano, he's not going to want he's going to want a clean game.
Fontanez floats that one. And staying up and pushing through everyone, showing his fire and spunk is Arian DeLeon.
Yeah, DeLeon's just been everywhere today, offensively, defensively, making the most of his opportunities and not quitting on any play. Like, he's just quick. He's a quick, fast twitch kind of guy and making the most of his opportunities. Like, he'd be a star player on most teams, but you got Puxton out there, you got Zaire Davis out there, Fontanez uses his feet. Like, there's so many guys that you can distribute the ball to, and DeLeon's just a nice complementary piece.
And that's Puxton on the catch. Get back to DeLeon, only 5'7", 185, but in that last play, powering through people.
Yeah.
Didn't look like he's 5'7".
Height, weight doesn't measure heart, right?
Well, for me it does. Inside 3 minutes and 30 seconds. 27-14. Liberty, after Freedom with a long drive, Liberty getting themselves into a position where they're knocking on the door soon. Freedom trying to prevent them from going in. Here's Green. Green's been active all day. Green makes a turn to the 20, gets down to 15, 10, and gets tripped up right around the 7-yard line.
What I like about what Gabe
that brings him down.
What I like about what Gabe Green does is he uses his blockers to set up his path. Like, you look what Zaire Davis is doing down the field here. They thought he was going to cut it back inside. Thank God Stefanik was able to be the last line of defense there. But Green has just done a really great job of, oh, wow, what we got going on here? False start, all right. But Green has done a really great job in setting up his blocks to create room for himself.
So another penalty here on Liberty.
Another penalty. Yep.
First down and goal, Liberty from the Freedom 11-yard line.
So the ball pushed back to the 11. Here with 3:12 on the clock, 27-14 your score. The only touchdown in the third quarter was Jahir Hughes from 6 yards at the 5:33 mark. Fontanez pumps. Here comes the blitz, and he goes down. Well, that's dangerous. Did he go down first or did he lose the football?
No definitive call from the referee to this point.
Wow.
Is that intentional ground?
That could, yeah, absolutely could be. If you're not going to call him down.
We got to see again here where.
He's down there. It looked like he was down.
Let's see it again. If we can.
But there's a player there, so.
Eligible receiver. Waiting on the call here.
Yeah, we'll take a look at one more time.
Intentional grounding is the call.
Intentional grounding.
Oh.
You know, the intentional cat.
Yeah, he was not down, and that was a pass attempt.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That was Finn Monroe, the right tackle. That was the closest player there.
I mean, to this point, I mean, there's been a lot of penalties on this drive for Liberty, but it's not biting him yet. I mean, third and a little bit long, 3rd and 26.
So back to the 26. They'll go for it. They'll send it, and they'll score. 26 yards. Don't worry about it. We've got it. And that's Zaire Davis.
I mean, just continuing to find the end zone does Davis. He's had a great game today, and you know, just getting behind the secondary, you're just getting flat out beat. One-on-one, fake the hitch route, which of course he made the first down on earlier in this drive. They just like stop and go and just beat your defender. Just getting behind that zone coverage, and wow, Davis has just had a impressive game so far. Looks like they're going to try to make up for that botched extra point here. Going for 2.
Yeah, they'll go for 2 here. And looking, and they will get it to Puxon.
Yeah, it's these Patriot defenders are just back on their heels. You know, I think whether it be the stop and go routes, whether it be the hitch routes, whether it's just flat out long streaks down the sidelines, every route is finding an open receiver, and Fontanez is distributing these balls beautifully today. And it's tough to find answers when there's this many playmakers out there.
Well, for Fontanez now, 4 touchdown passes and 1 touchdown run. That's an active day, would you not say?
Yeah. And that's the kind of player he is. And they've kind of put it in his hands. And it's been like that all season long.
Well, at the same time, Mike, you're Freedom. You cut to the lead, 27-14 on a great drive, took time off the clock, and all of a sudden you got your points. But Liberty answers again.
Yeah. And you got to wonder here because with the impending rankings coming out in 6A and you know what is still on the line for next week, you got to wonder what you do if you're Freedom here. I mean, not to say that you want to quit, but like certainly you got to protect your interests when it comes to the postseason tournament. And I know we're saying that with less than 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, but it's a 21-point lead for this Hurricanes team.
No.
And it looks like the streak is coming to an end this year.
Well, I don't know. There's a long way to go. There's plenty of time. That one bobbled momentarily. Now they'll get it back. Things not looking good here for the Patriots. That being said, there's still time. He never went down, by the way.
Yeah, they blew it dead.
Down. All right, so we have some time here. You're talking about that. That number 8 spot right now, everyone's thinking it's Emmaus. But, Pocono Mountain West at 5-5, Emmaus at 4-6. That Allen Deeriff game has implications on that one to see who's going to get the 8 spot. Likely could be Emmaus, but, right now it's too close to call there. But you're going to have an Easton West game or an Easton Emmaus game. That could be interesting because, Emmaus not having the best of years for them, but
well coached. Harold Fairclough will have his guys ready to play, and obviously you have everything to play for. It's a new season when it comes to postseason. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting first-round matchup.
From the 19th, Pla. Again, any of this can change because it's not official yet. We'll have it out tomorrow morning. But
going back to that Easton Emmaus game, I mean, I was there. It was a sloppy game. It was a game where a couple turnovers and Easton took advantage of it. And before you know it, they were out like a 3-touchdown lead and never looked back. But end of the day, I want to respect what Harold Fairclough's built over there. Like you got to respect it.
First, he's got to punch his ticket in and then see what they're capable of doing. And that pass catch is made by Jackson Pearson. The 2-7 match up right now looks like it's going to be Parkland and Stroudsburg. And then it becomes interesting from there. It looks like still the 3-6 is going to be Nazareth Northampton, which is always interesting when those two teams play.
Well, Northampton took the game earlier 2 weeks ago.
And then Liberty and Freedom, I wonder who's going to be home and away. I mean, is that, I mean, they're playing here regardless.
Right. Well, obviously a higher seed, so I'm assuming that's going to be Liberty, but
it's just a matter of what part of the sideline you're on.
Right.
So Stefanik.
They're still trying to move the pocket with Stefanik. You're trying to use his legs to create more time for these receivers to get open. But it's been a lot of tuck it and run it for Michael Stefanik.
And the 59th meeting between these two teams, last 6, have been won by Freedom last year. Won 44-24 by the Patriots. Right now they find themselves down by a score of 35-14. With the football, 2nd down and 7 from the 32. Stefanik sees pressure, throws middle part of the field, has a receiver in double coverage, and that was intercepted. Zaire Davis. Mike, and again, there's still time in this game left, but, when you start talking about our player of the game and, it starts getting interesting. Obviously, Fontanez has 5 touchdowns, whatever, but, you start looking at Zaire Davis, you look at DeLeon, you start looking at players that are making plays.
Yeah, I mean, on the receiving end of an interception, Davis has an interception, Puxton has an interception, DeLeon with that interception in the goal in the end zone here. So both sides of the ball, and of course Fontanez just brilliantly running this offense. It's been quite the treat to watch this complete effort by a Hurricanes team, and it's been a long time coming. I'll tell you what. It's been a long time coming for these Hurricanes. I'm sure the past 5 years have not been easy. It's been a Sean Dano new era. And this is the first time we've seen a dominant performance by Liberty in a few years. I mean, I've been up here in the booth with you here, Al, for I think 4 years straight, and the first time I've seen it from Liberty this sustained, this long.
And not wasting any time, they go back to the air once again. And the reception made there by William Reese. And you get one more play here in this third quarter.
Now it's about pride too. Like you look over at the Freedom side of things, and Coach Roeder's trying to keep the energy level up here, but the frustration has to set in after a while, especially because no matter what you're doing defensively, you can't find answers for all the offensive weapons that Liberty is throwing at you. And at a certain time, it's only natural human nature that you get down on yourself. So I mean, you have to make sure that you know that you want to finish this game with pride. It's a rivalry game. It means a lot. You've won 5 straight in this series. And then also you want to you can't let this feeling carry over to next week. So, make sure your priorities are straight. Make sure your head's on straight. Don't give these guys any bulletin board material to bring into next week's matchup.
35-14 after 3. You're watching on D11Sports.com. Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine.
Everyone has a story, and your smile is the best way to tell it. It shows your confidence, greets new people, and opens the door to new possibilities. St. Luke's OMS offers a revolutionary dental implant solution to help you regain your smile. The All-on-4 procedure provides a permanent alternative to traditional dentures for individuals who have lost all their upper or lower teeth. The benefits of our All-on-4 are experiencing immediate results, often receiving your new teeth on the same day as surgery, improving daily activities such as eating, speaking, and smiling, leading to a better quality of life, long-lasting and stable implant design, providing a secure fit that dentures cannot. The All-on-4 procedure is minimally invasive, reducing recovery time and discomfort. Our OMS team members are experts in oral surgery and specialize in this type of rehabilitation, ensuring a safe and effective process.
St. Luke's OMS helped me get my smile and confidence back.
Once you have your new smile,
we are back. Start of the fourth quarter. Fontenay is going to go to the air, and this one is in double coverage as well. And oh, yes, Buxton makes an amazing catch at the 16-yard line. Wow.
Just when you're considering Zaire Davis for player of the game, Jake Puxton, remember, it all started with that long touchdown reception for Puxton. He has that interception on the game. He's come back. This one means a lot to him as a senior. Coming in here and doing what he's been able to do. I've just been floored watching Jake Puxton do magic out there on the field.
The great thing is not only the rest of the season here, but anybody who want to watch Buxton, you don't have to go right down the street and go to Lehigh.
Yeah, Kevin Cahill and the crew getting a gem with Puxton. Coach's kid, so that's always a quality that coaches are looking for.
And DeLeon takes it in from 16 yards.
Hats off. Hat tip to Adrian DeLeon. He deserves that touchdown. He's been everywhere for the Hurricanes today, and he gets to pay dirt here, so every position player is getting into the action for the Liberty Hurricanes today. It's been a complete performance. I mean, if it's Gabe Green, Jake Puxton, Zaire Davis, Jackson Barlock, these guys are everywhere. And just, it's tough. It's tough if you're Freedom.
No question. And the extra point is up, and it's good. It's 42-14 in favor of Liberty. Mike, you look at Liberty's schedule this year, okay? They started with Penridge. They lost 31-21. Penridge, a really good football team.
Well, and also, dominant. They got dominated physically in that game. And I think that was a lesson. When we talked to Coach Dano, you take some lessons away from being beat up physically at the line of scrimmage.
Central Catholic, they beat 38-14. Stroudsburg, they beat 49-17. They beat Northampton 41-34. They beat Deer 42-0. They beat East Stroudsburg North 47-0. Then they lost 2 in a row. They lost a tough one to Nazareth. When you put up 42 points and you lose, that's hard. They lost 52-42. Game that we did on D11 Sports, a tough one, and they battled all the way back, but they fell short 23-20 against Easton. And then Bethlehem Catholic last week, 35-20.
I mean, getting into the 40 points range 5 times this season. We know this offense can be explosive. And even 35 points and 38 points. The only team that held their offense somewhat in check was the Easton Red Rovers. But again, you mentioned they battled back and they were right there at the end with an opportunity to win that game. So what they've been able to do this year. Remember, this Liberty Hurricanes team has been one of those teams that, was in a bunch of close games in years past, and they would be on the wrong side of things. They're starting to get on the right side of these close games too.
Yep. Marquise Chapman on the return. Go ahead.
I think back to that game at Northampton too, and how they had to come back, and Northampton had control of that game, but Liberty was resilient on the road against the K-Kids team, which I'm interested to see what they do in the postseason too, because they can score points. It's just a matter of whether they can slow the other offense down. And they were right there with this Liberty team and had them on the ropes, but Liberty resilient in that game.
So 42-14. 11 minutes and change remaining. And Mike, we've been around these games before where throughout the years, for me, broadcasting over the last 25 years, where you see one team win and then the following week or 2 weeks later they'll meet in the playoffs, and then it's opposite, right?
Well,
it happens.
Well, and also, like, you don't know what the situation's going to be. Like, what's to say this game next week is in a monsoon?
Correct.
And does that stifle the Liberty offense?
Liberty can't run, can't throw, right? Yep.
That leans more to the strengths of Freedom. So,
You went monsoon, not snowstorm. Interesting.
Well,
you didn't go there yet, huh?
No, we're close.
Well, I think we are. Jaheir Hughes on the carry for Freedom.
But again, it's circumstantial, and just look at history. Like, take the last 5 years in the district playoffs. Everyone keeps talking. Oh, we're on this collision course for Easton and Parkland, but oftentimes it's a 6 seed will come out, a 3 seed will come out. Like, so, it's wide open with how close the margins are with these teams. Like, these are very talented, well-coached teams in the EPC.
Yeah, I think a great point. Definitely well-coached teams, and at the same time, it's matchups, right?
Yep.
You may match up better against one team than the other.
Stefanik's still using his leg.
Saw nothing down. So Stefanik has done that a couple times today where he is getting no pressure on him. But that being said, there is no one open.
Yeah. I mean,
counted here.
It's tough. I mean, there's not a Jake Puxon, wearing black today, and it's tough to find some playmakers down the field. But credit Michael Stefanik holding himself in there and trying to string out these plays, find players open down the field, and then using his legs to get what he can just to salvage some of these drives. But that's a first down here in the Freedom offense. Fresh set of downs to here attack Liberty.
From the 41, Stefanik pumps once. Now has a receiver near side. See if they come back for this one. Looking for more. And
oh, wow. Best case scenario is getting a pass interference penalty on that one.
Well, almost the INT by William Reese, but it was, they're going to get this if they do on Jonte Bowe.
Yeah, Davion Moore had his defender beat down the sideline. It was just going to be a heck of a long pass for Stefanik to get it down there, and he tried to put everything he had into it. But it's still going to work out in the favor of the Pates, now on the other side of midfield attacking this Liberty defense.
Liberty on top, handily right now, 42-14. They've been tremendous, and as has Fontanez with the 4 touchdown passes and 1 touchdown run. He's been on his game today.
Yeah, Fontanez is quite the impressive player. Between him and Cole Ordway, just dynamic playmaking ability in the EPC here. And they're both in the same division, by the way.
Going for more again.
See, now, if I'm the referee, that was more pass interference than
the first one,
than the last play that you called it on.
I agree with you.
But I'm not out there in the pinstripes, so.
No, you're not.
But Stefanik was able to get more under that ball. That's a 50-yard pass in the air, if you're trying to lead a receiver into the end zone. But I think they found something here, or maybe a matchup that they like.
Second down and 10 from the 44. And they go on the ground again, and Hughes powers forwards. He'll move the chains inside the 30. They may mark it right on the 30.
Well, that's what happens when you're going deep in the last 2 play calls, and maybe you go into more of a pass protection penalty or a pass protection formation. If you're Liberty, it opens up the hole for a running back, and Hughes has had a couple nice runs here today, including that touchdown run the last time they had the ball. It seems like he's having a little bit more success than Pla has had to this point. And they're going back to him again.
Yeah, Hughes has it again, pushes forward, and he'll get another 8.5.
Yeah, that's effective ball movement here from Freedom. They're going to bring Pla back in here.
And Mike, for that point, also looking ahead, you start seeing more of Hughes. You may see more of Hughes over the next couple weeks.
Yeah, but whatever works, and honestly, everyone has a role in this offense and a role in the success of the team. So you gotta do what's best for the team overall.
Stefanik going to throw, and that one a little high. He's looking downfield for Jackson Pearson.
Yeah, Pearson had his guy beat. It took a while for that ball to get there. Ultimately sailed a little high. But Stefanik has shown that if you give him enough time, he can find his receivers. And there have been opportunities here down the field, especially on this drive. And you probably go into a little bit more of a conservative defensive call if you're Liberty with the lead that you have here. But still, getting some guys probably some playing time here.
Oh, Pla gets popped. Wow, what a game. Adrian DeLeon has been having himself quite the game today.
I mean, we talk about game balls. I hope Coach Dano has a fresh stock of balls to give out, because there's a lot of guys that deserve recognition
really
for their performance.
Really a complete game. I agree with you. Complete game here for Liberty. I'll bring up a 4th down.
4th and manageable.
Pla back there. Haas in motion. And we'll throw it in that direction, and it'll be close.
It might be just shy.
Yeah, the referee's right on it. The official's right on it. Let's see. I thought he was a little short, but let's see where he puts it.
Nope.
Yeah.
Big 4th down defensive stop. I mean, he had it. He made the catch and just ran out of real estate there at the sideline.
I think Coach Roeder's upset because I think he wanted it at least checked. But
I mean,
right there,
the chains are right there.
Right there, yeah. I was going to say.
No, you could probably have an easy view of it if you're the official here today.
So Liberty will try to run some clock here. Glad you could join us here from Bethlehem Area School District Stadium for season finale, a regular season finale.
Wonder if we'll see any emptying of the bench here. It looks like Fontenez still in at quarterback. Gabe Green, your starting running back, still in there.
I think you're going to see that probably once you get that first down and move the chains. Maybe you'll see it that way.
7:17 on the clock here. As and just get out of here. Like last thing you want is guy to pull up lame, missing time with a hamstring. Like, let's just.
That's the last. Absolute last thing. Any kind of injuries now, knowing that you're playing again next week, and you're starting the playoffs.
It's tough though. But you think about the way Liberty runs their offense. I mean, they're content in dropping back like they're doing right here with Fontenez and.
Yeah, they'll get Puxton. Puxton will get the first down, and we'll go out of bounds right around the 40-yard line.
Puxton still staying on the field. Fontenez still staying on the field. Maybe this might be the final drive for the starters. Zaire Davis here near side. Barlock still in the slot.
On the ground they go again. And nothing there this time. And we're approaching the 7-minute mark of the fourth quarter. And total control.
And I think you're seeing there, when Liberty runs it east-west, they seem to find holes that open up. The north-south running game, I don't know if I've seen it much today for Liberty. Not that they've needed it. But we talk about the conditions and how they dictate, how you run your offense. So might be something you want to stash away in the back of your mind for the next time these teams meet up.
Oh, that ball just goes right out of his hands.
Yeah.
That was the old whoop.
Yep, the long windup, and you lose it halfway through the windup.
People say sometimes, how does that happen? How do you do that?
Yeah.
Well, it happens.
It's tough to grip a football. And listen, Fontenez has played a near flawless game here today, so he's just showing that he is human. But that creates a 3rd and a mile, 3rd and 17. clock continuing to run here.
Mike, it's interesting you say that, 3rd and 17. They've completed these passes on 3rd and 13, 3rd and 12.
They have.
In that range. They're going to try to see if they can run something here. It's Fontanez, tries to get to the outside, and he'll be taking it out of bounds.
I don't love that call, but I think if you're going to run the ball, give it to your running back. Fontanez is too important to the success of this team to be doing a quarterback draw. It's not something they plan to do at all throughout the game.
Right.
So
I don't know how many times Liberty has punted today.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have.
Maybe once. I don't recall, actually.
Yeah, I think they punted once. Content to take their time here. And
yep. It's 4 seconds on the play clock. They may bang a timeout at the same time. They do. A timeout here for the Canes with 5:06 on the clock.
The classes of 1985, 1986, and 2015.
For over 175 years, New York Life has been helping families, businesses with their life, disability, and long-term care planning needs. Whether you have current coverage in place or in need of reviewing your options, please contact their office in Allentown to find the right plan to fit your needs. Call New York Life at 610-616-4430 today. Support for D11Sports.com Game of the Week comes from Michael R. Globus, financial advisor at Morgan Stanley in Easton. For all your investment needs, call Michael R. Globus at 610-559-6380, located at 101 Larry Holmes Drive, Suite 301 in Easton, PA. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. And a reminder, if you're a student from any District 11 school, interested in broadcasting, journalism, or photography, contact us here at D11Sports.com. Here, 4th down and 15. Punting unit is on. And opt into field. They'll get the ball right around the 34-yard line. Hey, football fans, time to get your pickle on at Pickleball Lehigh Valley. Are you ready to try the fastest growing sport in the country? Grab a paddle and join the pickleball action right here at PLV. Courts, leagues, clinics, you name it, we've got it. Bring your friends, get moving, and see why everyone is obsessed with pickleball. Don't wait. Hit the court and join the fun today. Stop by the Sportsplex on Crackersport Road or visit pickleballlehighvalley.com.
It's been great. Great facility. I've done a couple shows out there on the radio side of things, and trying to make the most of that facility. It's really nice.
And they also had the A-Town Throwdown. We did a couple games in there. They went indoors for a couple as well during July.
Got the sack on the play there. Stefanik goes down. Still trying to find receivers down the field.
1 yard. 2nd down and 11.
Clock at 4:33. If anything, if you're Freedom right now, obviously the game in hand here for Liberty, you'd like to get a drive here to get you that momentum at least, positive moving into next week.
Well, and also try a few things here and see if you can put something on tape that Liberty has to think about during the game planning process for next week.
They'll go again with Pla, and Pla will gain a couple.
Back by Middleton and McKenzie.
So it looks like they're rotating in and out. Hughes in last possession for a lot of that drive for Freedom, and now we're seeing a little bit more of Pla. What we're not seeing is LaShawn Johnson, honestly. LaShawn Johnson, that loss for Freedom is monumental, and you kind of wonder how the scope of this game might look if LaShawn Johnson's back there. Stefanik there. Find the guys, your receiver in the flat here. That is Brian Renshaw on the reception for Freedom, creating a 4th down opportunity for the Patriots. Clock ticking towards 3 minutes to go here. And the streak for Freedom is about to come to an end, and got to be happy for Coach Dano. I mean, this has been a long rebuild for the Hurricanes football program, and he's been at the helm here for a while. You've seen some flashes in this specific game, but never broke through with a win. This would be his first in the Liberty Freedom rivalry game, and and obviously a city championship to boot.
Which I think is a big thing when you think about it. And, you're talking to Coach about the city championship.
And I think Stefanik is just short there again on 4th down. Yeah, first down Liberty.
So Liberty will try to close it out here.
Now I will be shocked if Fontanez comes out to take this snap. I know Contakis is your backup quarterback, Christian Contakis, number 10. It looks like Fontanez is there.
Yeah, Fontanez is there.
Yep. Well, just letting the seniors go out, I guess.
Again, the other thing you think about is the seniors have not won on this game. Let them celebrate here on the field.
Yep. Just, I mean, everybody had a role in today's game. Everyone. And you can't ask for much better than what you saw today from Liberty. And really, you think about the first score that Freedom put up, and they're going to try to get Barlock involved. He's the only one of the position players that has not gotten to the end zone, if I remember correctly. So they're trying to get him involved here. That little screen pass. Clock will stop here for a second until they spot the ball. Now continuing to go.
Yeah, surprised that ball was in the air, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned Barlock. Try to get him involved.
Yeah, no, he'd be the last skill position player to get into the end zone. There we got the Gabe Green show here. I tell you what, I'm going to blame Coach Dano and Frankie Lane as making our job difficult to determine the player of the game.
Oh,
so
100%.
You gotta
100%.
Got to stick around post game, see who Santos is going to talk to. And there's a lot of players out there for Liberty that deserve recognition for their performance today. And again, just happy for Coach Dano and his staff to finally break through and get this thing done and put away. Now again, celebrated today, and back to the drawing board tomorrow as you know, you have a playoff game coming up next week.
On the ground is Green, and Green with 1:15 on the clock. Interesting because the third down coming up for Liberty. Technically, Freedom can get the football back here.
And it's not like Liberty is like waiting to snap the ball. They're snapping the ball with some time left on the play clock. They're taking their time here on this third down. But I don't think Coach Roeder would call timeout here.
No. This one, I think they can take a knee now here. Yeah, they can, because there's 3 seconds on the unless they call a penalty here, they may just take the penalty. Oh, there it is. Oh. And that should do it.
Wow.
So 42-14, the win for Liberty. Their first one, as the seniors get it here, and snapping a 6-year drought against their rivals. And the process, get that city championship.
I mean, again, you got to remember, these players know each other from growing up. And the greatest thing about this rivalry game is the community involvement with all the elementary schools, middle schools, teachers, administrators here to support these guys that you know, they're all Bethlehem kids. And at the end of the day, known each other for a long time, grew up together. And for the Liberty Hurricanes to go out as city champs here today, a long time coming. Wow. And the Hurricanes are going to go over to the student section, celebrate with their classmates. The Category 6, is that what they're calling that student section over there?
Yeah, I think so.
We know the Hurricanes, in terms of categories, up to 5, but they're going to take the Category 6 for the student section. And a lot to celebrate today. Waiting to see who get to talk to here at the conclusion of the game. Stick around. We'll go through some of the highlights, the post game, and talk a little bit more about what we see here over the next week, I gotta check in to see if we know anybody over at the Allen Deeriff game.
Oh yeah, I gotta check into that.
See what we can find out. Maybe we'll stick around and we'll tell you what's going on there.
All right, Santos is down the field. We go down to Santos.
Coach, first city championship, how does that feel for you, your program, and for your kids?
Oh, it's an amazing feeling, especially for the kids. Some of these guys have put in so much work and so much effort over so many years, like all the guys who played for me in the 5 years I've been here. To finally get on the right side of this one feels amazing. It's hard to make it.
Your history-making night tonight, 47-14, I believe, something like that. What does that mean for you, just as a coach and as a coach?
It's not about me. It's about these guys. It's about our school. It's hard to measure.
Coach, go celebrate with your team. Good job today, Coach. Back up to you guys.
All right, Santos, thanks a lot. See if Santos can get our player of the game.
Mike, you can hear the emotion there with Coach Dano. How much it matters to him and how long this journey has been to get to this point. We've seen Liberty show up a little bit at times, but not completing a complete game in this rivalry game. This one today, from start to finish, they played a complete game, and there was a certain guy at the helm for that victory, and I think we're going to talk to him here in just a second.
Yeah, there you go, Santos. Go.
Fontanez, first of all, impressive win today. How does it feel? You win your first city championship against your rivals.
Thank you. Yeah, it feels great to really this is the game we've been looking for since last year, so it's really great. I mean, I haven't beat this team when I was here, so it's great to finally pull it out.
Your mindset going into today's game, it's a big one, rivalry game. Forget about a city championship. Yeah. It's for the city. It's for your team. It's for your school. How does that feel for you?
It feels great to really pull it out just for no one is more than us. No one is more than the guys in these jerseys. It's really great to pull it out for the city.
Any plans on how are you going to celebrate today? You going to go out to eat or something? What's the plans for today?
Have a great night with the guys. Go out to eat, yeah.
There you go. Congratulations, all right?
Thank you.
Back to you guys up there.
All right, Santos, great job down on the field. And Mike, I'll get your final thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, start to finish, it was Liberty's game, and Fontanez, pitched a gem, as they say. We'll go with the baseball reference here today, but whether it was with his legs, whether it was with his decision making, his arm, and then with the help of his dynamic playmakers like Zaire Davis, like Jake Puxon, Adrian DeLeon showed up in multiple ways today, and I feel like I'm missing some. Barlock had a role in things, and let's not forget the unsung heroes on the lines, both sides of things. Stifling defense, slowing down the rushing attack for Freedom, and creating a clean pocket for Fontanez to have this game that he did today. A complete team effort, and I'm just blown away with what Liberty's able to do. And we were talking before, during the halftime break. When it comes to 6A, do not look past this Liberty Hurricanes team.
No, not at all. Mike, always a pleasure working with you in the booth, for sure. Having you. I want to thank Sports Fan Base Network. Kevin's with us today kindly, and obviously, Sean's been with us the whole year. This will be our last game here of the regular season. We'll get ready now for the winter sports. We can't do the obligations that the cable companies have. We can't do the postseason in district, or else we would, for sure. I want to thank all the athletic directors, all our sponsors. We couldn't do it without them. Definitely want to shout out to St. Luke's and John Hoff and Greg Lay and Ken Sidlow and everyone at their team, for believing in us and seeing what our students have been representing and been doing with us throughout the years for us. The coaches and the players on the field as well. And, we regroup. We get ready for the basketball and wrestling season, which is really right around the corner. And we wish all these teams really the best of luck moving forward. Final score in this one, once again, as we say goodbye for the 2025 season in football. Liberty wins this one 42-14. And for my partner, Dave Micah Jr., Ali Carl saying so long. You've been watching our D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. Have a good afternoon.